Good morning, horse players. Welcome to the road to the NHC. I'm Scotty McKeever, and we're going to get to work and take another step closer to Las Vegas, Nevada in March. Today's focus, we're breaking down races 2 through 4 at Gulfstream Park, 3 through 5 at Aqueduct. Both tracks are fast, and it's not just about picking winners, it's about finding the best value, horses that give you your best bang for your buck. And Vegas isn't going to wait, David, as it, so we got to make it happen today.
No, we're running, perilously, I can talk.
You can get that out.
Yeah, perilously close to the tour, NHC tour ending for this year, February 23rd. So it's a little over a month. So if you haven't qualified, I know I was starting to feel the pressure last year at about this point, and I almost got to the point where maybe not meant to be this year. I had a lot of seconds, and I qualified on February 8th and with a last minute decision to get into a feeder. And I'm like, I got the feeder, so I might as well continue. So just keep the faith, brothers. If you haven't qualified yet, you just have to have, you never know when your good, lucky day and profitable day is coming. And if it's the day of a contest, you might get there. So you keep the faith. And it's because it's worth trying to get there.
It is. It's definitely worth it. I'm just finding out now. The races are off the turf at Gulfstream Park. We had a little bit of rain this morning, but looks like we're going to have mostly synthetic races today.
Fun.
Yeah, fun stuff. What's up, Kelly, Nick? What's up, Leonard, Kent, Patrick, Joe, Rodney?
Hey,
what's up, Wiz? Good morning to you guys. And David, we're not that far away from the NHC, and so what advice would you give people and the mindset that they should have going in? Because we have a short time, but it's definitely not too late, right? So people think it's too late and they give up. But what would be your advice?
Well, for advice for those who haven't qualified.
For those that have not qualified, correct?
Yeah, for those who haven't qualified, I mean, you've got a couple of opportunities. Just monitor for the online players. Just monitor the horse tourneys and horse players websites, because you're going to find they have coming up in the last month. They've got a lot of contests. They've got a Valentine's Day special, I see. So things pop up, and that's for 125. Try the feeders. Just keep plugging away. And like I said, keep the faith. Most players out there, even the novices, all it takes is one lucky day. And you can sail right in there, and don't get intimidated thinking, I see all these names of good tournament players. You can't let that bother you, because it's not unlikely that a first timer can get to the NHC and make the cut and the final table. We've seen it a number of times before. The one year I was there, I'm looking at the final table. I'm like, geez, I only know like one person, and who are these people? Like, I don't mean to sound like Jerry Seinfeld, but I'm like, oh, that's great. So I met a few of the people. I'm like, first timers, and I felt it just, it is just so enthralling to be a first timer and get to that point. So never give up the faith, and just keep plugging away, and keep it in your budget, obviously. Hope to see you in Vegas, because it's such a good time there. I'm just looking forward to every day. It's getting a little closer. I'm starting to get my mindset focused on the NHC, because almost everything I'm doing from this point on is geared to two things: NHC, and on the shorter term is the Pegasus. So Pegasus, then as soon as Pegasus is done, everything I'm doing is in preparation for the NHC.
Chris, I did not sleep. But then I don't sleep anyways. But yeah, I was trying to figure out, me and Kathleen O'Connell were trying to figure out whether to scratch Sarkis or not. And then I woke up yesterday and the horse was the top EquinEdge pick. I'm like, I didn't see that. And the reason I didn't see that is because the first race, although he ran well, I didn't feel like that was a strong group, David, at all. And I'm just thinking, I know he's training great, but Kathleen doesn't really, even though she doesn't have a bad record, 15% with first-time starters, I saw the workouts. I mean, she was never asking him in those workouts. Everything was on his own. So he had to have got a lot out of that race. And this is a much tougher group today that we're facing in Race Number 8 at Tampa Bay. Yeah. If you want to know what we're talking about. And so he has to improve. There is no question about that. But the horses oftentimes after their first race, especially, Kathleen's not Bob Baffert. And what I mean by that is he has his horses like they are ready to go, first time out, a lot of times they don't often improve in their second start because you know who they are right away. I will say I don't think that's the case with Sarkis. I think he's going to improve off of that race. Will it be good enough though? I mean, you've got Pletcher in there. I think has got a couple. You've got Chad Brown. Like it's pretty
Two Brown. Yeah, Two Brown.
Right.
Klaravich. You've got also Shug's got a horse in there. You got West Point. So you got some, and Peter Brandt for Chad. You know, you've got the heavy hitters in there. So let's go, Scotty McKeever, and let's go today.
I mean,
you stand with this cult. Yeah, today.
We were going to scratch. We didn't do it. I'm like, okay, you know what? Why not just see what we have right now? Let's just see.
And then you'll know where to go from here.
His GSRs are, in the low 60s, and so I'm keeping my expectations a little bit lower because of that reason, but we'll see. I mean,
you got to have hope, brother. You got to have hope.
You do. I know.
Yeah.
It drives on a crazy, honestly, because like I consider myself a realist, and then that doesn't mean I'm negative. I don't feel like I'm negative, but I don't like to be surprised. So I don't want to have an overconfidence either. It's a fine line between being a realist and just being really, really optimistic. Right.
And in Sarkis' defense, I mean, a lot of these horses are in here, right? This is a prep race, right? This is a prep race.
Yeah.
For the big outfits. You guys have a race over the track, and I think Sarkis might be the one that's most ready to win. And you think that Peter Brandt or Klaravich is happy with a good solid second or third in this race to move forward into maybe another prep race for the Triple Crown or wherever they decide to go. But yeah. So here we go. I'm looking forward to it. I was just hoping it was at 3:49 so we could be watching a race now.
I know it's going to be a lot of fun
on the card today. And I just wanted to point out, Scotty, before we get rolling, I want to say hello to Matt Miller. And,
hey, what's going on, Matt?
Yeah, and the live bankroll for just the strict live bankroll players. We've got the Pegasus next weekend. We've got Express Bet has got Santa Anita, I believe, tomorrow. So you've got a couple of chances, and most likely will be in the Pegasus. I was thinking, I don't love the card at Santa Anita tomorrow afternoon, but I may opt at the last minute to get into that tournament. So, just keep monitoring it because February 23rd is the drop dead date. You need to qualify by the 23rd. That's the end of the tour for this. Actually, I think there might be a couple of contests after the 23rd. It's just not counting towards tour points. So I'm going to correct that statement. I believe it goes into the second week of March.
So there's a couple of feeders today. So Gulfstream Park has a feeder, so you can get into the it's the PWCBC, so the Pegasus World Cup, World Championship. There's a $40 Santa Anita feeder today, and that gets you into the Santa Anita Challenge, which is tomorrow, which it's $500 to get into. So. Yeah, I mean, there's a few things and feeders you can get into. I play with Express Bet Select, and so they do a nice job of showing that. I'm Rand, Scotty. How are you guys?
Nice.
The Pegasus. Are you going to be at the Pegasus? Nice.
Yeah, I'll see you there. Maybe I will definitely be there, God willing, and possibly be playing in the Sport of Kings tournament room playing the PWBC.
All right, what's up, Dave? Dave in the house. All right. Yesterday we had the chat room was great yesterday. Really great. We had a really nice time yesterday. I don't know if you got a chance to see any of it, but
I listened to a replay this morning and part of it while I was doing
it. Was so good. It was really good.
Very lively. Yeah.
It's always great when the energy like in the chat room is going. So hopefully we're going to have that today. Hopefully we can have some winners. We're going to try to pick some winners along the way. And
before,
go ahead.
I'm sorry, Scotty. I don't mean to interrupt you because I get senior moments. Just had a quick question before we get rolling. I don't think you're the guy. This is not your style, but I'm really curious what's been going on at Gulfstream Park the last week or so. I'm going to term him him or her the Mad Bomber. We've got somebody or a couple of people just popping down these $50,000 win wagers apparently. At Gulfstream Park last minute, we had a horse. A lot of them are Safi Joseph horses, but not all of them. And they go to even money to 1 to 9 in the last minute or two to post. I'm like, wow. So, and that's not, I'm assuming that's not you. I'm assuming that's not Matt, because it would be a daily double for Matt probably, but interesting. So we got to be careful with that, because in these pick and praise, you can't control that, but there's a chance that a horse who's 6-5 morning line is going to be 1-9 today, and we can't predict it. So I'm going to try to avoid any overwhelming prohibitive morning line favorites at Gulfstream today.
Let me tell you, it'd be easy to just go ahead and blame the tracks, and I don't know if there's anything they can do, and I'll tell you why. In the last minute or so, probably 40 to 50% of the pool doubles, right? So you're going to see it's that significant. And the reason is these CAW algorithms, in order for them to be the most accurate they can be, they need to know the up-to-date, most accurate current live odds there are. So if you tell them to have those wagers in 3 minutes before, they're not as accurate and they can't make money. And then, so the problem that the poor tracks have, and I say poor tracks, these tracks are not making money, you guys. Like, it's a really scary situation altogether in horse racing right now. You've heard it, but it's true. And you think they're all making a bunch of money and they're greedy. It's not true. It's probably why sometimes you don't see them running very efficiently, because they're trying to figure out how to run in the negative. I mean, it's just really not a good situation. And so how do you go when you've got 50% of your pool, and you're making small margins on those, by the way? They make very small margins on these CAWs. But yet, what do you do in that situation? Do you say, I don't want 50% of the pool? What do you do?
Right.
So, and again, I'm not defending anybody. I'm just saying this is not an easy solution. And we've seen situations where I think Naira tried to go, okay, you have to bet within 3 minutes, and they pulled out because they can't make any money. Because the algorithms, and I know this because we tried doing a CAW, we failed at it. And what happened is that, I mean, if you had to wait the last second to try to get that wager in to be the most accurate, and your margins are so very thin anyways, for what it's worth.
Well, these wagers don't seem to be CAWs, in my opinion. Some of them are done in 10 minutes to post. Where last week we're on the show, and a Safi Joseph horse opened at 1-9 in a 7 or 8 horse field, and the money was in there already, and that's not CAW. So I'm assuming, and it's interesting because it definitely changes especially some of these smaller fields. You're like, well, I mean, in a contest that there's no way you're going to get any value playing 1-9, and have this success race at this, it's like he's less than 30%. So if there's one individual doing this, they're currently losing money. So, but again, we don't know what the other wagers are. So
Okay, right. Ready to get going?
I'm ready to get rolling, my friend.
Let's do it. All right. So race number 2, we've got a 25,000 mares 4 and up, and $37,000 purse. You can't hate on that purse. That's a pretty nice purse. Going 5 furlongs. What do we know for sure? The one thing you all need to know about 5 furlongs on the synthetic over at Gulfstream Park is you almost can't close, period. Even when you see, what's up, bottom feeder? Even when you see there's a lot of speed in the race, and you think, okay, they're going to be going so fast. There's 3 of them that are fast. Somebody from behind's coming. They never close. Almost never.
Yeah, it's a frustrating situation for me sometimes, where you plot out the dynamics of a race. And the conclusion is there's 3 or 4 speed balls in here, and they're going to go 21-3, and it's going to be a meltdown. And there's a great closer here at 5-1, and then one horse runs off wire to wire by 5. With that being said, Scotty, I think there's going to be a contentious pace in this race. Here we go again. And the thing we have to, I think, watch today at Gulfstream on this Tapeta course, because last winter when I was down there on track, I kind of got the impression that anytime it got, kind of moderately wet, where you're having, rain, just it was raining, and the surface was becoming a little damp.
Yeah,
it was so speed favoring at times, but I think it's the amount of moisture. So let's just keep an eye on that. So that might really just ruin my play in the first race, because I'm thinking the 3 and the 7 and also the 1 are just going to be on the engine there. I mean, it looks like another speed duel to me. So I'm just going to go with my gut here. And I'm going with, I settled on the 2 here for Steve Placeris, Royally Blue, Dylan Davis on. Second race off a layoff. The horse is a closer, no doubt. She has to close. She's actually won 2 for 3 at the distance and 2 for 4 at Gulfstream. If you go back to the races earlier in her career in 23, she was a little closer to the pace in one of those races, and off a bump and came and won. I don't know what happened to her speed, but I'm hoping third race off a layoff, maybe with those 2 races under her belt, you're going to get an improved effort here, and she'll be flying at the end. So let's take the shot here and go with a speed dual meltdown and Royally Blue, the 2 closing. Who did you like in here, Scotty?
Man, you just ruined my complete opening.
Sorry about that. You knew that I'm gonna. I look for chaos. What can I say?
Bottom feeder. No, Justin deals with that in Michigan. I would say find a friend in another state is what the best I could tell you. I don't think there is any other sites with approvals. What up, Willie? What's up, Bill? Wiz is on the 2 horse. And all right, let's see here. Well, you know what I think with TVG, I hate to admit it, because there are a lot of great people over at TVG, and I had a great experience over there. But from what I can see with FanDuel, like they make just way more money on sports betting than they do on horse racing. And so, I mean, if you're making more money on sports betting, aren't you kind of going that direction? I think their goal, I don't know this, but I think their goal was, David, to try to get the horse players. I'm like, well, why? If you already know, because they're not stupid, if you already know that you can't make any money in the races, why buy TVG? But all of their strategies is to try to get all gamblers and try to convert them. That's what their goal is, right? Mm-hmm. And so maybe they're thinking, okay, if we've got the dual platform here, sports betting, horse racing, maybe we can get the horse players to start sports betting. I'm guessing that's what it is.
Yeah, I think eventually the way I'm looking at it, TVG is FanDuel now is going to be eventually just all sports betting at some point. And it's a shame because they have such good on-air talent as far as analysts. It's just unbelievable. And I was just talking to a friend of mine. We're watching a lot of sports talk shows about football and hockey. And I mean, some of these shows, and I'm not going to badmouth anybody, but some of these shows, I mean, it's hard to listen to some of these analysts. First of all, you have 6 or 8 analysts, and everybody's talking over each other. I mean, where TVG's just got some good talent. Where everybody, you usually follow the analysts you like best, who are aligned with you. But what an excellent talent pool they have there.
No, and the thing about it is too that's changed is TVG's advantage was their being able to do their signal and do their shows. I mean, they started it off. I mean, they really did. Like us horse players got to watch horse racing like 24/7. That was just freaking awesome. But I think a lot of what's changing now is we didn't want just, and there's some smart people. But we didn't want just talking heads. We didn't want people just, we wanted now, I think the online shows, there's so many people now doing online shows where you can interact, you can chat, you can talk to horse players. You've got like the VIP Facebook group that we have. Like there's a lot more stuff going on now, interaction stuff, that I think that a lot of the people nowadays want to do instead of just watch TV. Sometimes the coverage can be phenomenal though, but that's usually on bigger days. But on regular normal days, to just have somebody spit out a ticket and stuff like that, it's just not doing it for the horse player anymore. I think they're a lot more. I think we're all a lot more sophisticated than we once were.
Yeah, and I think the horse players, we like to participate, right? We like the activity of these sites with our show and some of the shows we have on. But when you're looking at some of these shows that are on for 5 or 6 hours, it gets to the point where it's over analysis of some of the races. It gets to the point where it's like, and you need somebody. You need the fan participation. I think it's really valuable to get the horse player involved because it's a valuable thing to get opinions of other horse players when we're going through these races.
It sure is. Good morning, John.
Hey, John.
Let's see here. Good morning, John. John Stafford. Royally Blue The 2-horse, let's see here, settled for second after a brutal trip. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Where she checked sharply at the break to start last and later got blocked on the rail. That's really great information. Thank you for sharing that. That's why I love our chat, because our community, right? Because a lot of people wouldn't share that information, honestly. And I think that all of us do. Like, whatever we know, we share it, and it all works out in the end. But that's pretty cool. I appreciate that, John.
Right. And if you noticed, Royally Blue was the favorite in that last race and did finish second after that troubled trip with Irad on. Now, Irad's off today, but my boy Dylan's on. So, and Irad's not in this race. So, all looking good for me.
So you have to run the race simulator and see who's going to be in front. Like, the 2 and the 4 are still projected to be pretty far back. And that's a tall order. What's up, Rodney? Yeah, thank you so much, Rodney. Rodney's the man. You want to talk about David? I don't think you've ever met Rodney, but have you met Rodney? Oh,
I have not had the pleasure of meeting Rodney. No,
he's just one of the genuine great guys. I'm not just saying that; it's just true. But you'll see him in Vegas, and I'm sure, Rodney, you're going to be in Vegas this year. I'm sure you and Linda will be there. He's just, when there's just naturally just a nice person, just naturally. Yeah, that's Rodney. Yeah.
All right, looking forward to it. Maybe we'll have a chance to meet in Vegas.
Yeah. All right. So I'm looking at the speed. 1, 3, 6, and 7. Again, I've been so freaking busy that I haven't had a chance to handicap. But the great thing is we've got EquinEdge, so we're still okay. But and I wanted to see a horse that's tactical, can rate a little bit. Do you ever look at the last 6 months? Like, you look at the last 6 months to really see how horses are doing, and you can see Royally Blue has been second or third in 3 of the 4 races in the last 6 months. The 4-horse 0 for 4. The 6-horse looks pretty good. 2-1 on the EE morning line. Top EquinEdge pick. And but I don't know that this horse can rate. When you look at this horse, it's like right there. But when you see its wins, it's pretty much on the lead. And so, and it draws outside. So typically, I'm looking for a horse on the inside as well. The 3-horse could be in between all the speed. 4 wins and 13 tries. Very aggressive jockey, and I really like him, is Edwin Gonzalez. I'm going to go with the 3-horse, Fortuna Bell.
All right. So Scotty's on one of the speeds. You're on the top pace metric and the second highest win percentage. All right. So Fortuna Bell for Scotty. I'm locking you in, my friend, and I'm on the 2 Royally Blue.
All right. I'm signing up for this qualifier or this feeder right now.
Okay.
Enter by. Super easy to do, you guys. Sorry, guys. I've not eaten all morning. I'm having some almonds, so hopefully it's not annoying. All right. So I'm going with Fortuna Bell, and you are going with Royally Blue. I will say this: depending on how you're going to bet, you might want to. I would imagine the 2-horse is likely the horse that will be in the money. And you could end up getting 5-6 to 1 as well in what looks on paper to be a tough race. So that might be a consideration. Man, David, I had no time. I didn't even go to bed till 1 a.m. I just had no time to put in notes. It bums me out so much because I put in 3 notes yesterday. I don't know if you saw it. And I was really proud of those notes because everything I said in those notes came true. And so I think my problem is, to be fair and transparent, I'm kind of I'm an overthinker, but 2, I'm becoming worse, David. I'm becoming a perfectionist, and I'm not even joking. And when I sit down and do the notes, I don't want to put a note on a horse that I don't spend, it seems like, an hour analyzing and finding out and stuff like that. So, and that's not a good thing necessarily, because it kind of paralyzes me a little bit. I get like 7 hours and I put in 5 notes. It's like, so I'm trying to find a rhythm with my notes. I'm supposed to be putting in notes in Santa Anita and Gulfstream Park, and I'm kind of failing.
Well, that's fine. I texted Scotty for yesterday late afternoon and saying, good notes on those 2 horses. I had both of them, so figured I'd give you acknowledgement.
It's always nice, by the way. You know that, You know, Justin's been killing it of late. We've seen that over the last like week and a half, 2 weeks. And then though to put a note in and then get, you know, people to comment and go, hey, that was a really good note that steered me in that direction. And that's really cool. It's really neat.
Yeah. And also, by the way, Dave, I put some notes in on the Big A today. I do have a horse I like a little bit in the first race with a shot. And Willie, hi, Willie. 3 over 5 at the Big A in the first race. No, I'm sorry, buddy. I'm not. No, I'm on the 2 on the first race at Aqueduct. But
okay, let's go to. How about we go to Gulfstream Park 3?
Okay, Gulfstream Park 3. Let's see. So I put my picks in already. We've got a maiden 17.5 going a mile and 70 on my favorite surface, the Tapeta. So we got a daily double on the Tapeta. And let me just pull up my EquinEdge. Yeah, this is some wide open race. And again, you can go in a number of directions here. And I'm looking at, looks like the 6 stretching out. Peppermint Man is going to be on the lead here. I don't see, you got a couple of other sprinters here stretching out, and you've got some that have tried 2 turns that are close up to the pace. But yeah, I don't see a lot of pace here. But I went in a couple of different directions. I think obviously the 2 is probably going to be overbet. Skull Honor or the Radaboard for D'Angelo. His barn is on fire. I just don't see, if I'm looking at the races, he's been in 16 claimers, 17.5 off a claim, 2nd off the claim. I mean, I don't see a lot of ability there, and I'm not sold at 2 to 1. So I went with a moderate priced horse. I'm settling on the 8 Sponge Time. This horse now is raced at 7.5 furlongs on the turf, 25 claimer, and now drops down to 17.5. Back to the Tapeta, and had 2 back, had a decent third where it was steadied. And if you notice, a trouble line in the last start, also on the turf, bump start. So maybe with a cleaner trip, a better start, this horse will be a little closer to the pace. So I think you can go a number of different directions here. So I settled on the 8 here, Sponge Time.
So I can't go with the 2 because this horse has been 23%, 32%, and I know D'Angelo takes over, but Barbosa is no slouch. But it was interesting that the 1 horse, the first time starter, was 9 to 2 on the E Morning Line. It was also the EquinEdge second pick. Mm-hmm. So I thought, you know, maybe this is a horse to consider. And but the Clocker report on this horse. Now, here's the thing. You have to be careful with the Clocker reports. I'm actually looking at it right now. But you have to be careful with them because sometimes the race just is not a strong race. And so none of them really are training all that great. Right. So you could get thrown off by that, and I'd be careful. The Clocker report on the 1 is really not all that great. But what does that mean in a maiden claiming 17,500? It can be plenty good enough to beat this field. So I am a little thrown off by it. It's the 2 horses training good, but man, has this horse burned enough money for you? And probably at the projected 4 to 5 odds, David.
Oh yeah. And we might have a 1 to 9 here if you get the Mad Bomber getting involved again today. The other horse I wanted to mention here too is Mark Cassidy's horse. I mean, the 7 Oz. Tyler Gaffalione picks up the mount. This horse off of a freshening. At first start was going 2 turns on the Tapeta in a much higher level of 50,000 maiden, and really did not lift the hoof. Lasix on today because 2-year-old turning 3. Cairo Prince out of Pioneer of the Nile. I mean, with the drop in class, this horse may show a little life today at a huge price. I didn't have enough confidence to put him on top, but the 7 does look a little interesting here. I'm tempted. I mean, if this was the NHC, and this might be my second ticket type of horse, the 7 Oz. So but I'm going to land on the 8 Sponge Time.
All right, David is on the 8. I can't go with the 6. The jockey trainer combination is 0 for 16. I know it's the EquinEdge long shot, but I can't go with that horse. Sponge Time looks like a fair horse to consider. The one horse Rocket Tune, even though the horse is not training great, supposedly, I don't think any of these are. I'm going to go with the new face. I'm going to go with the one.
Okay, so Scotty's on a first-time starter, going 2 turns on the Tapeta. So Scotty on the 1, I'm on the 8, and an honorable mention to the 7 Oz. Don't let him beat you at 15-1.
Let's look at that 7 real quickly, Oz. So a second-time starter that broke from the rail last time out, going 1 mile and 70 yards. Didn't run very good.
No. But he was dropping from a 46 SOR down to 40.
Yeah. And the win percentage doesn't go up. I don't like that.
Correct.
But Gaffleone jumps aboard. The jockey trainer combination is only 11%. So we, so meaning, what does that mean exactly? Well, you think, okay, Tyler's jumping aboard. It's big, but it's not, doesn't necessarily mean much because they're only 11% in 62 races. So I'm taking a negative stance on the 7 horse. I'm going to take the face, the new face.
Okay. Yeah, so, I think the 7 to me, Scotty, is more of a board hit for your exotics, and that's how I would probably approach this race.
All right, let's go to race number 4.
Race number 4 at Gulfstream Park. We've got 1 mile, and we're on the dirt. We're on the dirt.
Yeah.
Shocked.
Yeah.
You sure you're not going to change this to Tapeta? The dirt's getting a little too sloppy. All right, we only have a 6-horse field, and let me just pull up the pace metrics here. Yeah, the one thing that struck me in this race, there does not appear, this is going 1 mile, it does not appear to be a ton of early speed here, right? I mean, it looks like boldness, and I've never seen something like this. So I just wanted to point out, this horse, the 1 boldness, Jennifer Young, was, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 out of his last 10 races, unless it's a typo, it's not. This horse was claimed in 9 of the last 10 races. I've never seen something like that in my life.
No, I've never seen that either.
So it's really popular at the claim box, but would lead me to be intrigued normally until I look at the last race where this horse just totally stopped. And if you look at every other race before, you got a second, first, second, third. This horse is, runs every time. If you look 15, 20, 23 out of 33 in the money at Gulfstream. This is a 7-year-old hard-hitting horse, but off that last race, that was maybe this horse has just kind of lost its form. But, sometimes horses bounce back. But off that last race, I couldn't take the 1. And I just think that maybe this horse has seen better days off that last. So the second logical horse is somebody who's close to the pace, and that's Tyler for Kelly Breen Supreme Dominance. A solid 1-2 back at 8,000 claimer, dropped down to 62.5. Had a solid third. Was right on the lead on a slow pace on the dirt, and now picks up Tyler from Husband. So I'm on the 3 here, Scotty, Supreme Dominance.
So I'm going to take the 5 horse. I thought that was a really impressive effort over at Tampa Bay, and from the 10 hole against what appears to be this is an easier group. I think that was a tougher group. Same SOR, but that's not easy to go from that wide post, and you're showing tactical speed and winning like that. I think this horse is doing very good. The win percentage goes up. Same connections, and just gets an extra furlong. Mm-hmm. And so that's perfect for a horse like this. And draws probably the 1 horse is going to have the lead. That's assuming the horse breaks good. It's not exactly the best breaker. And the 5 horse is a good breaker. And it should sit a really nice trip. It broke first last time out at Tampa. I love the post position. The 6 has no speed. 4 has a little speed and could go with a good break, but it's not really the best breaker either. So I see the 5 horse being really, really tough. Trapezoid.
Okay. I'll lock you in on Trapezoid, the 5, and I'm on the 3, Supreme Dominance, Kelly Breen. And by the way, hello, Bill. Irad is in Tampa today. He's actually shipping down. He's especially going down to ride Majorca, I guess, in Scotty's race or Pletcher, I would assume. But he's got like 3 or 4 mounts, I think, at Tampa today.
Wait, who's Bill talking about? Barbosa?
Irad Ortiz.
No, you can see he says click on the red V.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It says 44% off the claim. Where? Which horse? I don't see Barbosa in here. Was that the race before? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't see Barbosa.
Let's see here. Boldness. Oh, yeah. I mean, Victor Barbosa is 44% off the claim. Like, that's pretty phenomenal. Yeah. And
oh yeah, I see that. Yeah.
Right.
With the 54 starts, yeah, that is a phenomenal record. But Jennifer Young's only 8% or such. She's a 9% trainer, 8% first race off the claim. I mean, the horse could win, go wire to wire, but off that last race, I don't trust this horse.
How about we listen in on Aqueduct? I like the 2 horse. It's 7-1 right now, and they just took off.
Hold on a second. That's who I like. Hold on. They took off. Okay.
Okay, let's right now the 4 horse Claire Court's in the lead, 5-1. Improbable Friend, the 6 horse, went off as a 9-5 favorite, sitting in second right now. 1 struggling on the rail and looks designated for last from this point. Perfect finish to the 5 horse is making a nice move, but 4's not been asked yet either, David. 6 looks all out right now. The favorite looks in trouble. And my 2 horse is in last. Yeah,
I'm trying to get the feed here for some reason. I don't know why it's not working.
Nobody's really closing. And I don't know if this is a sign of speed holding, maybe. I don't know. 4's holding. 5's coming. Perfect finish at 9-2. Might catch this 4. And then look on the rail. Wow, here comes the 2. Get up, 2. 1 time.
Get up with that 2.
Get up with that 2. Ah!
Oh, good race, though. If you look, I had notes on that horse.
You did?
Yeah. You didn't read your notes. You like the horse?
It looked like the 2 was closing, right, you guys? But did you see how the 4 was stopping? The 2 was not closing. It's an optical illusion. Absolutely is an optical illusion. Yeah. Wait. Let's see here. Yeah, 5 held on.
5 held on. Yeah. Just didn't get the bob. Yeah. The horse was stopping completely. But at 8-1. Ran a solid second. And I will tell you that Aqueduct yesterday, the speed was good. I mean, I wouldn't classify it as a speed bias track.
Yeah.
Inside seemed good. And also at Gulfstream, the inside seemed good yesterday. So just keep an eye. But again, that was on the main track. You probably don't have mostly Tapeta today. So, but it looks like at the Big A, you can close up that rail today. Yeah, you're right. The 4 was totally stopping.
4 was stopping, was a top pace number. Look at this 3 horse. The 3 horse was dead on the board, absolutely dead. And look at 42%, 35%, 24%, not losing, getting smoked. This is, you guys, the type of horse you never play. Never. Like, absolutely never. And the first time starter had a nice GSR in the 6 horse, and that horse ended up going off as a favorite. But you need to remember, this is also a $20,000 claiming race, and first-time starters in these kind of races. I mean, you don't know what you're going to get. They're not giving anything away.
Right. So, and David Donk, it's not usually his profile to win first time out. Let me just see.
And no, not only that, the horse was 7% to win. And if you want another stat, when the betting favorite is not the EquinEdge top win percentage, it only wins like 16% of the time.
Right.
And this horse only has a 7% chance of winning. This was such a bad favorite.
Right.
Such a bad favorite.
And you got your the 5 was the EquinEdge top pick.
Yeah.
At 92, right? So good call. And we've got Gulfstream. Hold on a second.
So we got
coming up in 5 minutes, and I am in that feeder today on Express Bet for the $1,000 bonanza the day before the Pegasus. So I do like a little bit in here.
Who do you like?
I like the 3 Neighbors. First time starter. I'm going to give a shot with that horse for Mark Cassie. And let me just pull up my notes on Neighbors. Like the workout pattern. Authentics are okay. I just think that Cassie, well, then Davis, with Davis on, this horse has got a shot to just come out swinging here. I don't think there's any world.
I thought this race was brutal.
Yeah, well, the scratch of the 2 led me to the 3 because I was originally on the 2 here, but it is a brutal race. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, the Cassie's other horse, the 1, the first time starter, is definitely an eligible horse. If you look to win the race, got a nice workout on January 10th. And actually they work together. And I think Neighbors outworked that horse slightly. So I think either one is logical. So yeah, I might use a Cassie exacta here.
Hello there. All right, that's good. Back to this. Hold on here. Okay.
Okay, now you got a bunch of first timers here. Looks like the speed, the 10, the 8 or the 10, the 8's taking all the money. National Secret, right? Off that last race, showed speed at Turfway and just kind of packed it in late. Well bred for turf. But they're off the turf today, right? So this is on the synthetic. So changes things up a little bit.
Yeah.
But if you look, Cassie's working these horses on the synthetic, the 1 and the 3. And Cassie's a huge fan of synthetics. I mean, he works his horses all over the place on synthetics, in Woodbine. So, yeah, actually, the switch over to synthetic may help both of these horses.
Okay. Bear with me, having technical difficulties. Trying to refresh and see if it updates. No. Usually those picks will update, but they're not updating.
Oh, because you got Battle Drum, the second pick. Is that what you're?
Yeah. I'm surprised it's not updating. Let's see here. Gulfstream Park. Okay. Remind us who you're on again.
I am on the 3 Neighbors, and I think the other Cassie horse, the 1's got a big shot too. Not that I'm telling, they're both 3-1, but I'm leaning towards Neighbors. Rail post always scares me a little bit going 5 first time out. So I'll slight edge 3-1 exacta. Yeah, it looks rather wet down there. So what's the condition? We'll find out what the condition of the main track is. The second race is on the main, right? No, I'm sorry. The third race is on the main track. Looks it's probably muddy. Yeah, John was mentioning the 10-horse Ripton's music here. Definitely speed. It's a McLean's music. I was hoping that the race was on the turf. I would give this horse a shot to even improve more. But from that outside post, is going to have to gun for the lead and get that lead. But, you know, this kid Egan's been running pretty well. If he can get this horse. We saw it yesterday in the first race with that Barbara Jean. Severe outside post, 11. Gun to the lead. Was that Tyler in that horse? or Luis Saez. Gun to the lead. That's the way you had to go.
Yeah.
And just coasted at a nice price.
I loved that horse. That's the only horse I put a note in that race.
Yes, I noticed that. And you know me, speed. I'm like, yeah, that horse could clear. The outside post doesn't bother me. And so, boom, we had a good one there.
All right.
All right, so they're circling around. And the first feeder race is not till 12:52, so we do have a little bit more time than we had last week, it appears. Oops, what happened here? Okay, here we go.
Still time for your wagers. Race 1, start of the.
I was waiting for that.
Pick 3.
Get your pick 5s in. We got to circle around to get that handle up.
The reason I'm not talking, guys, I'm having trouble with my screen. So luckily we're able to see, you guys are able to see the races, but I can't actually get onto EquinEdge right now. So I'm hoping it comes back here. It's not on EquinEdge, it's mine.
It's on yours because I have no problem. I have the site up and it's navigating around. I'm navigating through it.
Yeah.
Perfect. So, yeah.
Nobody can figure out what's going on and why it does that periodically. It's so frustrating. Like literally just can't get on EquinEdge. It happens to me a couple of times a day.
Mm-hmm.
Your E's down? Really?
Yeah, and then Mike said he's down. Yeah, no, I have no issues here.
You're up?
Yeah, I'm up.
Oh, so it's not just me. Oh, shit.
Yeah, I'm having no problem here on my end. I have Gulfstream up. I have the third race up. I'm second. I'm going to see the first.
If you try to leave the screen, it probably won't come back for you. Oh, John's good, huh? Wow. That's so weird.
That's what it is. I left the screen and went back. I went to Gulfstream 2 and tried to go back to Gulfstream 1, and it's on Gulfstream 2. I can't get back to 1 either.
Okay.
Oh, I'm back. I'm back. I'm back on race 1.
Me too.
Okay. Probably just a glitch there for a minute. All right, they are making progress towards the gate.
Well, then I just refreshed and it won't come back. Great.
We got an 8-1 shot starting off the pick 5 at Tampa Bay. Thanks for the info, Dave. Hello, Mike. Get ready for that Arctic blast there, Mike. We're supposed to be in the single digits early in the week up here in Western New York. Not fun. Thank God I'm heading down to South Florida in a couple of days.
Almost time. Moving in for a start, race number 1, start of the early pick 5. 2-1 favorite is the Kentucky Invader National Secret under jockey Luis Saez. In the line went gearing up. Ripton's Music to take the outside. They're set for a start. Racing at Gulfstream. Blowing the start badly was Awesome Empire.
The one horse
His
broke
stablemate Neighbors
terrible.
was away well and reaches out for the early advantage out in the middle. Here's National Secret moving to challenge. Ripton's Music's on the outside. Via Hefe is racing back in fourth.
The race simulator said that it was going to be 8 and 10, nose and nose.
4
Right.
more.
Not surprised.
Tangler then gearing up, and Awesome Empire threw it away at the break as they round the far turn. Riptons
Three's
Music on the outside, trying
struggling
to
a little bit.
National
7's
Yeah, he
doing
is. Yeah.
After the sharp break, Neighbors is now third, pondering his course of action. Up on the outside, here's Madrock moving closer. Red and white colors, looking for room.
That's the EquinEdge top pick, David.
They're on their way home. It's National Secret who comes away with the lead. Davis trying to decide where he wants to race with Neighbors. Meanwhile, Madrock's down the
wide.
They're an eighth of a mile from home.
Come on,
Madrock's down the
Sarge.
center. Neighbors at the rail. These two have kicked on. It's Madrock. It's Neighbors. It's Madrock who's doing the better work. Madrock and Edgard Zayas going
Well,
away.
it is 9.
Neighbors was second. The one to watch is late gearing up. He came from a mile back, living up to his name.
Neighbors ran good first time out. A little green there.
Yeah.
A little weird of a strange trip there. But yeah.
That's 7. That was great.
Yep. Top EquinEdge pick again.
Look at that. Top win percentage, 4-1 EE morning line. Top. That's amazing. Hold on. Let me.
First time gelding off a layoff. First time on the synthetic. A lot of firsters there. The horse has been working well.
Yeah.
Personally, it looked like to me the horse needed a little more distance, but what's happening here?
9-2.
9-2. 9-2.
Yeah.
I thought it was 7-2. What am I looking at here? 9-2. Boom.
Yeah.
All right.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting there is that horse came from behind. This is 5 furlongs in the synthetic. That was I just saying, like, no, it was a fluke. They just stopped, whatever. But that was super interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting. We'll have to see how it progresses going through the day, but it's kind of a weird run race in my opinion. So I'm not going to make any judgments on that.
Yeah.
That race.
All right. Well, that's a good start for the EquinEdge for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Let's go to Aqueduct. Now we have to do Aqueduct. Where do you want to start? What is it? Race number 3?
Aqueduct is race number 3 for the contest. Yes, for the feeder. So let me just pull that up. And we went through. Who did you like? Just refresh my memory. Oh, you're on the 5 in the 4th race at Gulfstream. Trapezoid? Yes. Yes.
I'm on the 5. Yep. Yeah.
All right.
There. And you're on the 3 horse, correct?
I am on the 3 horse. That is correct.
Okay.
All right. So at Aqueduct, the 3rd race, we have a
3, 4, and 5 at Aqueduct. Let's run the race. Here we go.
Okay. So we have a state bred maiden 40 claimer, maidens 3-year-olds. And we've got these lower level claimers for 3-year-olds. There's not a lot in here. You got a couple of first timers, kind of a tough race. You've got a horse that was claimed off John Terranova for Oscar Barrera, who usually is not great off the claim, but he's 1 for 2 at the meet. He did win first time off a claim earlier in this meet. This horse, the 2 comes off a sloppy track effort, just did not fire that day. And if you look back, the other sloppy track effort, the horse did not fire, showed a little speed and just packed it in. So I'm getting the impression that the 2 really does not care for a sloppy track. On a good track, had a bang up second as the prohibitive favorite. So I don't know where to go with this horse, but would deserve a chance on a dry track. I'd probably give that horse another shot, but was claimed for 25, now moving up for 40. But the way I'm looking at this race is the 6 horse Dead Aim. Is out of Omaha Beach, and these Omaha Beaches have been running pretty well, I've noticed over the last year. And first time Lasix, going from a 2-year-old to a 3-year-old. And the first start was, basically the horse did not really lift a hoof. But, dropping down today, it may be coming out of a key race. If you look at this horse, Sand Devil, came back and just dominated the field by 12 lengths. Now, I'm not saying the field was anything extraordinary, but just to do that, first time breaking a maiden, this horse, to me, Sand Devil's got stakes potential. And the 3rd place finisher, Prince Valiant, came out broke its maiden in its next start. So when I see a horse who's won a race and then comes back and wins by 12, the third place finisher comes out, breaks his maiden. And in that race that Prince Valiant broke his maiden, the second place finisher, Vikinda, finished second. So to me, that may be a key race. So that's why I'm all over a 6, Dead Aim.
Okay.
Hopefully he's got Dead Aim on the winner's circle today.
Yep. So Lasix on for the first time, blinkers on for the first time, new trainer who claimed King Phoenix out of that last race. Face tougher, win percentage goes up. Jockey trainer combination is, you get a new horse and you put a jockey on that you've never ridden before. Sometimes that really throws me off. That's a thing for me that I kind of look at. I don't necessarily like that, but then you look, there's nothing all that great in here as far as jockey trainer combinations go, right? And trainers, I'm a fan of Catalanos. Actually, that's not Wayne, that's Michael. Let's take a look at the top GSR for the 2-horse. I mean, 2 back, you're right. But it does go to New Connections. It ran good. It was 40% to do that, and it still lost. And it was 35%. But it looks like you can probably throw that race out. Maybe didn't like a sloppy track. That's certainly a possibility. I'm going to look at the EE morning lines. Sometimes what I'll do, David, is I'll look at the EE morning lines on horses that don't look like they should be lower. And so let's look at, if you look at the 3-horse, it didn't run a bad race last time out. And then it was in between horses. That's one thing I look for in the trouble line. I always look at the trouble line. And I see that there. I see in between. That's just intimidating for horses sometimes. And then 5.5 is a lot faster race early. I like the 6 furlongs here for this horse. I think it's going to be, much better. It's 4-1 EE morning line, although it had a terrible performance on the outside corners there of the first and last start. So the 3 would be somebody I would consider. The 5-horse first-time starter for Rudy Rodriguez, he's only 2% with first-time starters, and the win percentage is only 10%. So I'm going to believe it. The 4-horse Celtic first-time starter, Celtic Prince, ends up being the EquinEdge top pick. Manny Franco's aboard. Manny Franco could have a good day. This is a nice drill from the gate, 6 of 32. I know, Dave, I'm the same way. I like to look at earlier works to see if there's any indicators. I don't really see that here. I will take first-time starters in situations like this because they're not too low. You're not giving it. You're okay, it's in for $40,000. These are New York breds. Patrick says the horse looks like a turf horse. It looks like both to me, but I could see, it's got a higher turf tab, so that's probably fair. The one horse is the EquinEdge second pick. And it showed a lot of speed last time out. So one of the ways you can look at this, there's a couple of favorites here that are going to probably be first-time starters, and if they don't come out running, then maybe the 1 horse in its second start will be good.
Speed from the rail. Rail looked good in the first race, so yep. And the 2 should be right close to the pace also. So I think either one of those horses are a contender here. Yeah.
With first-time starters too, I like to pick the ones that I think are going to be near the pace early on. The 5 and the 4 don't look like maybe they will be prevalent early, but there does seem to be some early speed. Look at this first call. You got the 1 there, the 2 there, the 3, 6 is right there, the 7's there on the outside. I mean, there does seem to be some speed, right?
Yeah.
And the 1's still hanging around there. For me, I like the EquinEdge picks. I have to decide if I'm going to go with the first-time starter 4 or the 1, the second-time starter. Okay. Look at this bullet work. 1 of 36 on January 11th for the 1. That's no joke.
No, that's a good work.
All right, why not? I'll go with the 1.
Okay, Scotty's in the one King Phoenix, the speedball on the rail, blinkers on, Lasix on, bullet workout. You might be talking me off my horse at this point, but I'm going to stay with the 6 dead aim. You're making valid points. And I just think the 2 may pressure that horse, and the 6 may sit a perfect trade. I think the 6 is the biggest drop down here. So
I think the 1's being sent hard from the beginning. And this bullet gate drill right here says that the horse can probably show more speed than it did last time out. And often horses do. And the other reason, look at this horse all the way, even though the horse was dueling, all the way to the stretch was only 3 lengths back. And then the jockey just gave up saying, okay, I've had enough. But it also could be the type of horse that needs the lead.
correct.
And so if it gets the lead, you might not catch it. So I'm going to bank that it's the EE second pick, top win percentage, and it's the top pace. So I'm going to take a chance that this horse gets the lead and goes gate to wire, especially when the first time starters, at least based on the race simulator, doesn't look like there's a lot of speed. So
yeah, I would agree with you that the 4 and the 5 probably would prefer more distance, and this is likely a prep race.
Twin Spires in the house? The real Twin Spires?
Twin Spires. Hello, Twin Spires. Thanks for getting those contests back up and running.
Buenos dias, Oscar. All right. Race number 4 at Aqueduct.
Race number 4, we're going 2 turns, 1 1/8 miles, 9 furlongs on the main track for Statebreds. And we have a scratch. We have a late scratch of the 1A, the part of the entry, and that was Cumberland Blues. Okay, so we know who's going to be on the lead here, right? Liberty Central. From the rail post, had the lead last time out, trying to 2
I don't
turn.
know. There's some speed in here. Not to cut you off, David, but there's some speed in here, David, that could hurt the 1 horse. And the 1 horse has burned money the last 2 races, and it had the lead last time out against an easier group going the same distance. So I'm trying to beat this horse.
Okay, I'm trying to beat this horse also. And if you notice, I do have notes on someone in here, but here I just want to disclose something before. I will definitely be rooting for the 2B Petrolo, okay?
Yeah.
For 007, Kevin Bond, Jim's son. And just for disclosure here, I was this close to purchasing a share in this horse, Petrolo. Yeah. I went to Saratoga, had a tour of the barn. Great family, the Bonds. They're right down the road from the Horseshoe. What a facility they've got there. Great people, and they have a ranch or a barn, an estate out in Mechanicville that is absolutely extraordinary. Great racing film. So I was right there, and I decided at the last minute not to do it. This horse is a Finger Lake specialist. This horse, they always thought he could get 2 turns at a Bellamy Road, but the horse has not really done anything out of Finger Lakes. So I am going to be rooting for this horse. I'm not using it in the contest because I think there's some other more likely winner here, but let's go Petrolo for the Bonds. Okay. And just so you know, I settled on the 5 Hagrid's Flame. I don't like the 1. Had everything its own way last time out, slow pace, and just kind of packed it in late, just got caught late. Now, the one thing in its favor, though, but did fail twice as the prohibitive favorite both times out, the last 2 starts. The horse that beat Liberty Central in that last race, Colomo.
We'll take your word for that one, David.
Colomo. Came back yesterday and won a 2-turn race, wire to wire. So that tells you something. So that makes me a little skeptical whether this horse is, should I just totally throw this horse out? But I'm going for it. I'm throwing the horse out, even though the horse who he got beat by came back and won. With that being said, I'm on the 5 Hagrid's Flame. This horse was new trainer. It was formerly trained by John Turnover. Jamie Ness now takes over the training. And if you look, the last start was on a sloppy track. I'm going to give that horse, that race a throw out. The only time this horse tried the 1.8 miles before was at Saratoga in the slop. Didn't really, it steadied at the start, but was no impact whatsoever. The race before was an impressive race. This horse won at a mile and almost at 8-1. And if he can repeat that effort on June 15th, and I think he can stretch, I'm hoping that he can stretch out, hopefully be a little closer to the pace today. And so I'm on the 5, Haggard's Flame here. Giving the horse a shot on the 1.8 miles on a fast track today, and I do have notes, I believe, in the system on Haggard's Flame.
Yeah. Thank you, Twin Spires. I miss doing that. That quarter, the show was so much fun to do. The quarters and with Jose Contreras, and I started doing it with Dave Weaver and Mike Joyce, and and of course Les Onaka. Like so. I got to host that for a couple of years. That was really a lot of fun.
How far back was that? I do recall that. I think I remember seeing you on it.
I want to say 6 or 7 years ago, probably now. I think time goes by so fast, and then because I moved out here about 5 years ago, so I would say 6 or 7 years ago. Hi, Manny. Those were fun. Like I don't know. I first of all, I was more of an analyst, but who they turned host. So and I learned, I obviously wasn't as polished as like Todd and Mike. They're so freaking good. Caleb is so good, and Joaquin. I mean, these guys are so good at what they do. But I took a mixture of that, learned, and then also and I was a host that loved to analyze horses too at the same time. And I felt like Blaze, I love Blaze. Please tell Blaze I said hi. I miss him. And we had the best time too. It was so great. We just had it was so great with the producers and stuff. And Blaze was one of the best. I mean, Blaze really cared and took everything very seriously and tried. Yeah, it was great. I mean, I probably drove them crazy sometimes because again, I wasn't the most polished, but what I lacked there, I made up in effort and handicapping and so I think we just brought a different dynamic. Me and Jose Contreras to the quarters, but that was a lot of fun. And where I had fun too, David? I really enjoyed TVG too, because I got to just sit in that little booth there and just handicap race after race after race, and it wasn't prime time or anything like that, but it had its followers, and that's what I love doing. And you just got to cover race after race at all these different tracks. It was so great. Mm-hmm. It was great. Yeah. Yeah, I remember that too, Dave. The Bedeker family, Bob, and when I first created EquinEdge, I remember it to them. It felt like a little bit of competition. I thought he was the best guy, and he was at TVG for a short time as well. But and then obviously EquinEdge has gone on to be a lot more. But I remember when I started my horse player, and I met Bob over at Hollywood Park. Hollywood Park did you ever go to Hollywood Park?
Personally, I've never been to Hollywood Park. No.
Ah, it's so great.
I heard it.
Yeah. And cheese or no cheese. Jose doesn't eat tacos with cheese. And I'm like, who eats tacos without cheese? It was kind of our
exactly.
Yeah, cheese or no cheese. And it was a thing, but I don't know. It brings back memories. Thanks for bringing that up. I appreciate that. I agree with you on this horse as well, because if this horse can just break good, but that horse was 8 to 9 wide. And this is not a big field. Right, we've got one scratch, so you're looking at 7 horses altogether. I don't see why this 5 can't win this race. And we've already, I mean, it's the only one closing with blue for sure. But I think the 3 horse Brick Ambush is an interesting horse, David, because this horse was a step slow last time out, and with only a few horses, Mott takes over. It's the EquinEdge second pick. It's tactical. I think we might see a good effort from this one. So I'm going to go with Brick Ambush, the 3 horse.
Okay. So Scotty McKeever is on the 3 Brick Ambush for Bill Mott, who doesn't have, and third time off a layoff, formerly trained by Danny Gargan. Blinkers on today. So should be close to the pace. You're right. He should give Liberty Central a little tussle early. And Petrolo's not slow. Petrolo might gun for the lead. You might be right. This it may set it up even better for the 5.
You're going way back.
Oh, boy.
So Cal Expo. So listen, when I first went on TVG, I never had looked at a form before for harness ever. Like I'm like, Dave, I need, I'm Weaver. Dave, I need you to give me like what am I looking at here? Like I'm not going to say it looks like a foreign language as compared to like quarter horses or thoroughbreds, but and then that's when I got my introduction to quarter horses too, because I had never handicapped quarter horses. So, and I ended up falling in love with handicapping quarter horses. And
Really?
I did. Yeah, I really did. I felt like I got good at it, and I learned a lot from Les Onaka. And then Dave, Dave's brother is a big time owner in harness. And so Dave knows all about harness. In fact, he goes back all the time. And I think he hosts a lot of times the Hambletonian and
yes.
Meadowlands, right? And that's a big thing. And anyways, it's like I always tell people, it's like, okay, what do I do? I say, okay, just grab the 5 post. I don't know, something about the 5 post that just wins 30% of the races, and you look like a champion. And no, but I ended up really enjoying that. So you're bringing me back now.
Oh, you're bringing back. Yeah, I can. Right. You're talking West Coast. I went to Roosevelt Raceway for those East Coasters. Roosevelt Raceway back in the day for the harness. And one thing that always got me frustrated, because I'm a thoroughbred guy at heart, that I would bet I'd rail horse the 1 or 2 posts and do take a merry ride around, get trapped in the whole way, be blocked in. I'm like, what the hell am I doing? And then I had a guy saying, all you do in a harness is box the top 4 races, because wide posts aren't any good. So he would box 1, 2, 3, 4 in every race. And I'm like, what fun is that? I mean, I'm trying to handicap, and I'm reading the form. The condition of these races was confusing to me. And then talk about quarter horse, Par Meadows out in Suffolk County. And I just didn't become a fan of either, quarters or harness.
Oh man, I did. It started being really a lot of fun. And make sure you tell Blaze to give him a big hug for me. I miss him, and I hope he's doing well.
We're living going down memory lane here today.
Yeah, definitely. Like there was, I really enjoyed my experience. Like I never thought, like when they first asked me if I was interested in doing it, I'm like, me? Like, you know what I mean? Like you picture like Dave Weaver is so good and Todd Schropp and things like this. You know what I mean? Like so good. But I'm like, okay, I kind of found my niche, and then I had my following, people that liked that's what happens. You find people like you and they don't like you,
and everybody's got their favorite handicap or analyst.
They do.
Yeah. And
okay, by the way, I don't mean to cut you off, but I wasn't paying attention. We've got the beginning of the feeder race number 2 at Gulfstream Park here starting shortly. So we've got 4 minutes to get in our plays.
Yes. Okay. Let's get back to it. So we have to go to Aqueduct. Race number 5 is the last one. So I'm on the 5 in that other, and the race 4, and you're on the 3. So race 5, we're going a mile. Hold on a second. Do I have my plan? Just bear with me. Just to conserve time here, I am on the 5. Gimme. Off that last the last start.
Okay.
I'm looking at my notes, and I don't see what okay. Horse broke its maiden at for 40. A nice, impressive win. Bumped up first time optional claimer with 80,000. Now drops down to 50. Is probably in a better spot today, and stretches out to the mile. And I'm liking this horse out of money. So give me.
I actually think this is a really good play, and I'll tell you why. This horse broke its maiden easily in dropping class, so it improved with each start. So I'll show you. First start against a 48 group, that was a tough group. Got 3rd, but there was obviously a runaway winner. Then drops to a 44 group, and I say drop in SOR because I know it was 40, 40, and 40. But that's why you want to look at the SORs, which is our class number, because not all $40,000 races are the same. As an example, because you've got droppers and things like that. So it improved within each start, and it had outside posts, which are no bueno sometimes. And this horse still ran huge from the 10 hole, and then dropped in class more and won easily. Then goes from the rail. They were so impressed with that race and this horse, they go from to an optional claiming 80, where the horse probably had no shot. It broke from the rail, broke last. It was climbing, so it must have been behind horses, and it still got 4th by 10 lengths. And now it's come in here. It draws a better post. It races 2 and 3 back. It broke fine. If this horse is really live. And now we just need to look at the 4 horse and see if it's going to get overbet. And look at one last time out. This is a horse that lost at 33%, lost by 5 lengths, was 20% here, 27% here. And now it's going to get overbet at it's 1-2 EE morning line, all because of that last race. I pass. Absolutely go with the 5 horse. I agree with you. I'm riding your coattail.
Okay, Scotty's jumping on a bandwagon here. Hey, let's go with gimme. So you're going to take gimme. So we're both gimme.
Gimme. All right.
All right. So we got it in.
We did it.
Let's see. Right. So let me pull up. Let's see.
Listen, not only do we handicap our asses off, but I produced pretty damn well right there. Look at the timing of that.
That is perfect.
Last week, I was not very good. Last week, we had to do like 8 races on about 10 minutes because I wasn't paying attention.
Well, today, you are a true professional.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Okay. Let's see what we got here. We got Gulfstream Park. It's raining. Let's revisit this race here. Race number 2. You're on Royally Blue, who's the favorite right now. Damn. So if everybody wants to get off of this horse, look at this. Royally Blue is 9-5 right now with 7-1 EE morning line. The 3 horse, my horse, Fortuna Bell, is 5-2 EE morning line. It's 7-1, so they reversed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, interesting that the 2
Maybe I need to get on your bandwagon. Well, I wonder why.
I don't know.
On paper, it doesn't look like a horse that should be 9-5 now. What am I missing?
Well, in its defense, this horse was also favored in that last start. So they're just jumping back on board, hoping that we get a better trip today. So everybody can see the trouble line, right? But again, the horse could be at a disadvantage because it's only 5 furlongs. And this horse is not going to be on the lead. So that's always a concern when you're selecting a horse who's a closer at 5 furlongs.
Yeah, well, look, it's had trouble in its last few starts. We talked about it earlier. But here's a horse that really doesn't break great. And you're going 5 furlongs in the synthetic. Now, they closed in that first race going 5 furlongs in the synthetic.
Right.
So, I don't think this horse can afford to break slow.
No. And I see now, I'm just pulled up my feed from Gulfstream, and it looks like it's pouring there. And from my experience, when I was down there when it was raining, when I was on track, that Tapeta sometimes becomes like a speedway. So I'm a little skeptical now about the 2 horse. Even though it's in, I'm going to keep the play. I don't think I'd wager on this horse for real money at 8-5.
Wow. Can the 3 horse Fortuna Bell rate? I might change my play. Like, this horse is getting real action right now. Like, look at 8-5. That's not like, this isn't just, okay, this horse is the favorite. This is like people that are saying this horse is winning today. That's what that is. I'm going to change the 2.
You're going to the 2. So I was going to go off to 2 to your 3. We don't want 8-5. So we're looking at this. But
no. That's real money. That's real money betting on this horse. I have no doubt about that. And if the 3 wins, I'll kill myself. But that's all. My dog is freaking out. I think she wants me to feed her. I'm going to leave it here, and I'll be right back.
Sure. All right. It looks like we're beginning to load in the gate. It looks like a rainy day down there in South Florida. And we'll see how that Tapeta. I think the more moisture that Tapeta course takes, we'll see how the day progresses. But in my opinion, the more moisture it takes, it's going to be a speed highway. But we'll see. We'll see. So I'm a little skeptical of my top pick, the 2 here at this point. But should be a contentious pace. We'll see if the speed holds here. We got the 5 loading in here. And I'm not going to make any effort to try to pronounce that horse's name. But I will pronounce the 6. Going in next is American, of course. And then we've got another speedball on the outside on the payroll with Anthony Morgado. And JR. Today, 3rd race off a layoff.
5 furlongs over the all-weather.
All right, good luck, everybody.
Morgado Jr. on the payroll.
Yeah, that's my concern. Go fast and win. We'll see how it goes. Good luck, everybody.
And they're off. Good start on the outside
Real good.
for American, of course, who fires to the front. Fortuna Bell has speed. Fulminate is down at the rail, and these three race hard in the early stages. Dylan Davis wants off the inside on race favorite Royally Blue. She's down at the inside now, passed outside by On the Payroll. Then it's Kikitsa. The early trailer is Jokes Up. To the far turn.
Your three horse is going to wire the field.
3 furlongs from the wire.
Oh, man. Now, two's running pretty nicely, though.
Yeah, but got traffic.
Getting started is On the Payroll.
3 looks all out to
Royally
me.
Blue
I think the
wants to get out of
two's got the
traffic.
most
She
horse
is
for
now.
sure.
She's guided to the far outside for a clear shot.
Got to go way wide now, though.
Kitsa trails. They reach the top of the stretch. Fortuna Bell has the lead. To the attack On the Payroll. Loose for the drive. Royally Blue. No traffic problems for her today. We'll see what she's got. 1/8 of a mile to go. The leader is Fortuna Bell. On the outside, it's Royally Blue.
I mean, 3 ran huge.
Yeah, 3 ran a good race. Right.
It's a trouble-free run. Royally
You got the
Blue
exacta.
is in front.
Yep.
Then it's
Ooh,
Fortuna
barely
Bell
got
Well,
the
you
second,
made the right
up is
choice.
third,
The
and
3 horse got
6-1.
second. Probably
Yeah.
some. I'm sure some people in the chat kept, did that exacta box. I mean, so it worked out. It worked
Well,
out.
it worked out. And again, I stuck with it. That I was getting a little more skeptical, I guess, because of the money it was taking. But the 2 ran great. And looks like so far we have an even track. So maybe the Tapeta hasn't taken on a ton of moisture yet.
That's unusual for 5 furlongs for horses to come from behind. It's happened 2 races in a row. That almost never happens.
Right.
And it must have something to do with the track, getting that rain. It has to.
I think it's a northeast wind, to be honest with you today.
You think so?
I'm just
I was going to say, is that a thing?
Well, when you have a northeast wind off the Atlantic there, that's more than 17 miles per hour, it tends to favor closers. I'm
about to.
It sounds good, right?
Yeah, I was just going to say, I'm about to get you a job at the Weather Channel.
I prefer AccuWeather.
AccuWeather. I know you do. Yeah. Okay. Now we've got to get to the qualifiers, which start in race number 6 at Gulfstream Park. How's that sound?
Okay, race 6 at Gulfstream. So let's go to race 6 at Gulfstream.
That thank God that first of all, like for those of you that don't know what just happened there and why the switch, when you see that, you guys, meaning unusual action, and in the first leg of the feeder, you have that opportunity of making that change. But that horse is 7-1 EE morning line, and I know it's had trouble in the last couple of starts, and somebody in the chat was bringing that up earlier. But when that's just unusual. That's just too much. Like the horse is 5-2, lukewarm or something like that. But 8-5. No. Anyways, ended up working. The horse was much the best in the race. The 3 horse ran huge at 6-1, but
right. And I will admit, now we all have our pitfalls, downfalls, or things that bug us as horse players, or maybe deficiencies or weaknesses, and that's part of an issue that I still have. When a horse that I like takes a little too much money, and because I'm not technically, I don't have that. I'm not wired to really be a favorite player. So when a horse takes too much money, I'm start questioning. It's like, is that value, right?
Yeah.
And was the 8-5 value? Well, the way the horse won, in retrospect, it was value because it was a pretty nice win.
It was.
But based on 5 furlongs and normally speed favoring, I was hoping to get at least 2-1 or 5-2. To me, that was the value. So sometimes
how about an exacta that paid 17-1? How about that?
Works. Boom. Yep.
Wow.
Hey-o.
All right.
And Mike Soletta, it's going to go off the rails because I'm starting to get hungry and I'm going to start talking about food because one thing when Scotty said he was up at 1 a.m., I was also up at 1 a.m., but I fell asleep at watching my Rangers actually have a win last night, and it was a late game. I couldn't get to sleep. The dog woke me up. I had to take her out at 1 a.m. in 10-degree weather. Whoa. And then I decided I felt a little hungry, so I started eating those corn pops again. And I haven't had sweet cereal in years. So I'm sitting there at 1 a.m. eating corn pops. I think we had a cereal discussion. So.
Don't even get me on cereal, honestly. I refuse to buy cereal and put it in this house. I listen.
You're not a cereal guy?
I'm a cereal guy. I'm a huge cereal guy. The problem is I'll eat the entire box of cereal. I can't stop. And don't even start about your pancakes, Bill.
Oh, yep. Go ahead.
My pancakes are the best. And Bill keeps saying his pancakes are better than mine. Listen,
All right.
Since my kids were born, I've been making blueberry pancakes or any pancakes for that matter. And
Okay.
yeah,
It's interesting you say that.
Okay.
You know what I had for breakfast this morning?
What did you have?
Blueberry pancakes. And I made blueberry pancakes.
Oh, you made them.
Gluten-free. Yeah, gluten-free. Pamela's is the gluten-free. It's got a kind of an almond base, and you would love that, Scotty, being an almond lover. So, I'd have to see how good you are at I love blueberry pancakes. I can't eat plain pancakes. So maybe you'll invite me down for breakfast one time when I'm back in South Florida, and I
will absolutely.
We can do a pancake morning show. Make picks and then figure out. I'll give you a rating on your pancakes. How about that?
So okay, so you're back in New York.
Yes, I'm heading back down for the Pegasus, and I'll be there for a couple of weeks. I'm most likely coming down Wednesday morning.
I wish I could tell you that it was like 80 degrees and perfectly sunny right now to make you feel really bad about not being here. But unfortunately, it's about 68 degrees and raining and cloudy.
That's okay, because Wednesday morning, my flight is scheduled to leave at 7:55. If we ever get off the effing ground out of here, frigid Rochester. And you want to take a guess what the projected temperature is at 8 a.m. Wednesday in Rochester, Scotty?
Oh man, I'm gonna say 10 degrees.
-2 below zero.
No,
Okay.
thank you.
And I will tell you this. When you're in 2 degree below zero weather, it's nostril freeze up time. Nostril hair freeze up. And when you get off the plane, the first thing I do before I check my bags, I go outside, and even in 50 or 60 degree weather, it's going to feel like 90. So there we go. -2 to 65 probably on Wednesday. So I'm
okay. Good. Okay, I got to let my dog in, and then do me a favor. Dave really likes your microwave pizza. Talk to us about that.
My microwave pizza?
Yeah. Last week you were eating microwave pizza that you couldn't wait to eat because you could smell it.
No, I think I put it in a toaster oven. It was burning. That's why it was smelling. But my microwave pizza is, I'm not big on the microwave. It's the toaster oven pizza. Elio's is the only one that I'll eat, because it's got real cheese. Some of these microwave, if you notice, microwave pizzas, if you read the ingredients, it's got a imitation mozzarella blend. And I do not do well with imitation anything. So give me the real cheese, give me excessive cheese, give me excessive sauce, and ready to go. As a matter of fact, I'm making myself hungry. I made chicken parm last night, and I told my wife I better have something to eat before the show, because the only thing I have for lunch is chicken parm, and that's too messy to eat during the show. So I don't want to get berated here by Scotty McKeever, because I'm eating chicken parm. The cheese just runs all over the place. So, all right, with that being said, we'll get off the food angle here. We got the 6th race, the first of the qualifiers today at Gulfstream, 5 furlongs to PETA. And originally when I looked at this race, now I'm thinking there's going to be speed here. But after watching the first 2 PETA races, I'm not sure where I'm going. The only thing I'll say, a horse that I'm a little reluctant to use, who I think has got the best shot here to win, is the EquinEdge top pick, Hollywood Mayhem. Off that last race, breaking its maiden for 17.5. Easily win at prohibitive odds. Both starts was favored. Lasix on today. Omaha Beach. These Omaha Beaches are running well. But you got Irad, and I have a feeling somebody's going to pop a $50,000 win bet on this horse. So I'm going to keep looking. So I'll let Scott.
Where are you at right now?
Oh, geez, am I on the wrong race? 6th race at Gulfstream.
Oh, you're in this. Oh, you're already started. Okay.
Oh, yeah, Russell figures. Since you're starting, I just keep rolling.
Didn't know. There's an Xavier's Cigar Lounge. I mean, I'm there. Where is that exactly?
Oh, yeah. I know exactly where it is. I'm not a cigar guy, but I've seen the cigar guys there.
Now, give me a Macallan with a big ice, double shot, and an Ashton cigar. I'm good.
You know where you usually find me? Outside the Xavier's Cigar Lounge, probably smoking a doobie, to be honest with you, and hiding in the corner. I'm not a cigar guy, and be honest with you.
Well, there's that too. Minus 20 degrees in Canada tonight. Holy hell.
Oh, that's heading to Chris. Try to keep that up there. The forecast is it's pushing in for on Sunday. So the Buffalo Bills game is going to be in the teens, the single digits with a wind chill factor of like 20 below. So,
okay. What's Patrick talking about? 38%. The 3-horse Ramsey. The 3-horse Ramsey is 38. Oh, second race off the layoff. Ramsey's 38%. He's 23% first off the layoff, but the horse did not run. And I'll tell you what I think is going on with this horse. I think it's the type of horse that needs the lead for its best. Let's see what the race simulator says. But maybe that's what we're looking at here with the 3 is it needs to clear. But is the 5 all that? I don't know. But the 5 is pretty fast. The 2 is fast. So the 3 could be in between horses. I think we could see a speed duel in this race.
yeah, that's a concern here. And if you look, I have the suspicion that the 5 Hollywood Mayhem is going to be totally overbet. D'Angelo Ortiz combination yesterday was hold on, I thought Ortiz was in Tampa. Okay, you can probably get to Tampa later in the card, but if there's a jockey change, let me know. But it seems like I read is on the 5-horse Hollywood Mayhem. Based on that wire-to-wire win and looking at some of the other speed, the 2's got speed, the 4's got some speed. And Scotty, maybe you should give Kathleen O'Connell a call on this Arrow Star, because I'm like, this horse at 6-1 morning is interesting. But, I mean, is it going to duel with the 5? Okay, and just damage each horse's chances. Now, the interesting, can Arrow Star switch over to Tapeta and be just as effective as when the horse broke its maiden? So that's a question there. Do you trust Arrow Star on the Tapeta? And is Hollywood Mayhem really that good? And then the 4-horse Coaster to the Moon's also got speed. So I'm going to poke around a little more here. My original pick was the 4, but I just think you may get 1 to 5 on that horse.
We've seen horses come from behind.
Yeah.
And can a horse like the 1 Carconi do well first time on synthetic? The GSR actually goes up from its last race, but it broke bad last time out against way too tough of a group. It broke its maiden first time out, which is hard to do.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, this is not the worst looking long shot in the world. I don't think this is a race where you want to take a favorite at all. Like, I just don't think, right?
No, I agree. But I have to tell you, Scotty, with the Finger Lakes shippers coming down to Gulfstream or even Tampa, the success rate hasn't been good, in my opinion, because, you know, I do follow Finger Lakes. It's Western New York track. And I just don't see the success rate going down to Gulfstream from Fingers, even at this lower level. I mean, yeah, it's a legitimate closer, but the more that I look at it, I think I'm going to change my pick, because I was originally on the 4. I think the 5 is going to be very difficult to beat, but I think I'm going to settle here on the 3 Happy Flyer. Blinkers off. This horse will be the closer. Drops way down in class. Didn't really lift a hoof on the Tapeta. The concern is, does this horse maybe just not like the Tapeta? So to me, you're taking a risk when you are using a horse that has a terrible race on the Tapeta, even though dropping the class. But with that being said, I'm going to go with the 3 Happy Flyer for Nolan Ramsey.
It's an understatement to say this is a drop in class. I mean, that was a 46 SOR. That's 24 points lower SOR. In fact, I don't think I've ever seen one that low. So I worry about, is this horse still okay? Or it gets the lead for fun and goes gate to wire. I just don't know.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, second race off a layoff, you would think maybe they'll give the horse another chance at that level. So that's a suspicious drop so quickly, right, off a layoff.
I don't think you're putting the horse, I don't think you're putting it in an optional claiming. Even if you're waiting, you know, you want to run the horse and get a start under its belt. I just don't think are you really doing that in an optional claiming $75,000 allowance rate? I don't know. Wow. I don't know what to think about this horse. I mean, most likely it's not doing any good anymore, but it's definitely the class of the race.
Yeah, and if you look, the horse that broke its maiden at Churchill for 40,000, right? So maybe the 75 and the 62 claimers, optional claimers at Laurel and Gulfstream, and the horse is probably over its head. So now they're just saying, okay, well, this is where the horse belongs. So yeah, give me the 3 Happy Flyer. The way the track's been playing, it doesn't look like you have any problem closing. And so yeah, give me the 3 Happy Flyer.
Are you surprised? First of all, the horse ran huge against that group last time out. But are you surprised this horse isn't like 50% to win? I am. On the drop, like that's a little. I'm surprised this horse doesn't have a bigger win percentage. Honestly,
yeah, that's a little dubious. Yeah. And so if you look at Hollywood Mayhem, 41% win. So I mean, it's really tough to bet against that horse. But again, I don't think you're getting 8-5 morning line. Got an EE morning line. This may be one where somebody is going to dump a ton of win money on. And it wouldn't surprise me this horse goes off at 1-5. So I want no part. Give me the second choice here, a Happy Flyer.
All right, we got to get out to Aqueduct. All right, so you're going on the 3. I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do, but let's get out to Aqueduct and we'll figure it out afterwards. I'm on the 1 horse. By the way, the 1 horse right now is even money, and the 4 horse is 3-1. I like the 1-4. You're on the 6, so you're getting a fair price at 5-1. Probably
5-1. Yeah, I'm liking it.
All right, here we go.
I think off that class drop, this horse is going to be awful tough.
1 broke, very good, but 7 broke on top and got a flyer. But the 1's fast, doesn't seem rank, seems to be able to handle it. I'd love to see the jockey. Yeah, and it's what he just did. He took the horse to the outside of the 7, who's 17-1. 1 looks very good and live, and in fact, the jockey is on the brakes big time on the 1. And he's got a lot of horse, but he doesn't seem to be too rank, which I like to see. And
the 6 horse is not firing.
This one's going to be very, very tough to beat, David.
Yes,
really
you're
tough.
right. At even money, yeah, because the 6 is not firing at all. It's actually dropping away back. So that's the risk you take on big drop downs that didn't lift a hoof. You maybe can't run.
I'll tell you what, the 3 horse on the outside is moving. Now the 1's struggling. 1's done.
Yep. The
wow.
1 is done.
Strand Road, the 3 horse is on the outside of Man.
Yeah, here comes a closer on the outside. The 5.
Here comes the closer at 9-1, 9-4. But I don't think you're catching this 3 horse Strand Road. It's going to be.
I don't know about that.
It's going to be 3-5-7. That's what's.
Yeah, you're right. 3. Got a big price here on Strand Road.
3-5-7. All right. Wow. Yeah. I mean, that 1 was so live and just stopped. Okay, let's look at the 3 horse Strand Road, see if we can learn anything from that. It was 4-1 EE morning line. Did we even talk about this horse? I looked at this horse. It had a good race 2 back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wasn't sold, but you did. You just referenced that horse, Scotty, in your defense earlier.
Yeah, you know what? I was hoping it would have a higher win percentage in here, but it moved up in class to a maiden special weight at Parks last time out, and it didn't run well, and it showed speed. And it was a hard one to catch, and it was not bet at all. You got the bug at 115 pounds, and 3 horse won nicely. And a first time starter 9-4. That horse showed finishing on the race simulator.
Right, and in the horse's defense, it's one we might have missed, that 4-1 going off at 9-1. Again, that's value. Then I mean, this horse just basically repeated its performance on November 2nd over the track and maiden 40 with a nice second.
Exactly what
happened. Had a bump start. So if the horse didn't get bumped at the start, puts Lasix on today, throw out the sloppy track at Parks, throw out the turf race at Saratoga. The horse probably is not turf meant, and just basically ran back to that start, and you got 9-1. No.
Yeah, pretty impressive effort there. And this was a tough race, but that is certainly, if you could have made a decision to use that horse very easily based on it.
And here's where, since this is an NHC show, I'll make this reference. So when you're at the NHC, especially those novices, when you see a race like this, this is a 7-horse field. And you look and you're like, well, you've got an even money favorite on the rail, looks like the Lone Speed, and you got a couple of first-time starters who are taking money. Your first impression is this is not an optional race that I'm going to use. But when you look at it, if you see a 4-to-1 morning line and the horse goes off at 9-to-1 and the horse had a second over the track, to me, that's value. And I probably would have pulled a pivot and used at least something on this horse. Everybody at the end, a lot of players at the NHC are looking for long shots in 12-horse fields where inscrutable races. So if you can pull out a $20 horse out of a 7-horse field,
Huge.
You're way ahead of the game, because I'm guaranteeing you a lot of horse players are not going to have that horse early in the day on a Friday. So here we go. Just a little advice there.
All right, let's get out to back to race. Looks like a late running sprint.
Okay.
We've got 8 minutes before Gulfstream Park race number 3.
Okay, so we can go.
We're going to go to 6. Okay, you're on the 3-horse Happy Flyer. Man, I can't get away from that. I don't think I can get away from this 5. I want to, and because the 3's in there and dropping in class, the 7-horse looks to get bet. There's a chance that the 5-horse doesn't go off below that, and maybe we get $7 on this horse.
On the 5?
Yeah, total. Not for the win in place.
Oh, you may get $5.20 for the winner place if we have the Mad Bomber out today. But yeah. But again, this is one we can make a judgment before the post time, right? So maybe we'll pivot back to this race after we're done with the other races and see what the odds are.
I mean, it's pretty impressive. If you look at this, you got a 17,500 claimer. If you claim this horse and now you're the big favorite in for a $33,000 purse, it's pretty nice.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Right? It's pretty nice. I'm going to go with the 5. It looks too good. It's tactical speed. All right, so let's go.
You want to stay at Gulfstream?
Yeah, we might as well.
Yeah, let's do one track at a time and then swing back. So 7th race at Gulfstream.
All right. Here we go. Oscar, sorry, we're not covering Tampa. We've got too much to do to do all the NHC qualifying races. Sorry. So the 1-horse, wow, just a massive pace advantage. In fact, I don't think I've ever seen a pace advantage like this.
Yes, yeah, that's the one thing that struck me when I started looking at this race. So you don't see too often when you have I pull up the pace metric. That's the first thing I do when I handicap a race. I see a 90 for the 1, and the second horse. The second highest pace metric is a 38. So
Incredible.
Just on that angle alone, and this horse, this horse has been mostly on turf, then synthetics at Turfway, has won 2 races, 0 for 2 at Gulfstream. But just on that alone, doesn't that justify a play even for a small? But I don't think you're getting 20-1. Or is this horse just a cheap speed who's going to pack it in and can't get a mile and 70 yards? So that's the question you have to answer. But in any case, I think the issue is, or the mindset would be looking for somebody who's going to be the first horse off that pace, right?
Here's what I find interesting, though. Drops in class, but the horse in the last couple of races, 1 couldn't clear, 2 and needs to clear, 2 was only 4% to win today. So it's not only one metric, it's a few of these. The GSR goes up, the win percentage goes to 19. The horse drops in class. These are all the things you're looking for. And on top of that, I'm not overthinking this. I'm taking the 1.
Okay, you're taking the 1 Baytown Parfait. Okay.
Castellano jumps aboard.
Yes, with that being said, I just have a feeling that that just looks too good to me, and I have a feeling that Luis Saez knows how to read past performances. He's on the 6 horse, and I think isn't that your nickname, the 6 horse?
Yeah, Big Daddy.
Extra sexy Big Daddy. Isn't that what on it
Just
calls?
Big Daddy. Just Big Daddy.
Big Daddy. Okay, you're a big guy, Big Daddy. So this horse did have a solid workout on January 10th in preparation for this race. 4 furlongs, 47 and breezing. So I have a feeling this horse now drops in class. I have a feeling that this horse is going to be closer to the pace. Had an excuse at 50-1 last time out. The horse was over its head, and basically had a bump start. If you look at the races preceding that, we have 2 seconds, 2/3, and a victory. Of course, not on this track, but I'm not sure how the horse is going to like synthetic Tapeta at Gulfstream, but let's give a shot with extra sexy Big Daddy, the 6 horse for Luis Saez. And if I had a second ticket, it would definitely have to use the lone speed. So 6-1 for me, Scotty.
Listen, the 6 is no joke in this race.
No.
First of all, this is a thing with and the EquinEdge community knows it. You got 5-2 on the EE morning line, and it's the EquinEdge long shot. The win percentage goes up. I'm not even really looking at the win percentage because the top win percentage is 19%. So don't even look at that. Look at the other metrics. The GSR is right there at the top. 5-2 though on the EE morning line.
Yeah.
And this horse lost by 11 lengths last time. It broke last and was 50-1 and only 5% to win. It's going down 8 points in SOR. This horse is no joke. Very, very live today. In fact, I didn't see this initially. I might change my mind and change it to the 6. I'm with you. I think the horse is extremely live.
So you're going to jump on my bandwagon again?
Possibly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna fill in my card just yet.
Okay. And we want to backtrack to that 6th race at Gulfstream too. I'm going to take a look at those odds before that race goes off.
By the way, Sylvain, I don't have that link with me. Chris has it. I don't know what that link is for the merchandise. I'll get that. I will get it though. And thank you. What was I going to look at? No, I think this horse is extremely live. I love these plays. I single horses like this all day long when I find them. I absolutely love it. Thank you, Mike. If you can find it, that'd be great.
The only thing in this horse's profile that does concern me, well, 2 things. Trombetta Barn is a little cold at this point, 1 for 23 at the current meet. And if you look at this horse's lifetime career record, 8 wins, 13 seconds. So maybe the horse prefers to finish second, but I'll take that risk.
But that's also against way tougher competition.
Yes, correct.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I mean, this is a big drop in SOR, and this is why we have different metrics, because it's just one metric, you don't know if you could, but when you see different metrics that are looking at different things, all kind of agree. The EquinEdge long shot 5-2, the win percentage goes up. By the way, look at the record going 1 mile and 70 on the synthetic. In 15 tries, this horse has 4 wins, 5 seconds, and 3/3. 12 of 15, the horse has been first, second, or third, and that's against tougher.
Right, and the only thing I'll say too is that's Presque Isle Downs, so we don't know. Each surface is a little different. So if the horse can run like it ran on that surface with a clean start on the Tapeta Gulfstream, I think you got a live one here.
So I'm on the first time starter who's dead on the board. I'm a little to me. The 2 horse Skull Honor is a little dead on the board, considering we thought it'd be 6-5, but it could get bet late. It's 34%. It's burnt some money. Alvarado's aboard because Irad is at Tampa. – I don't know. Like I'm looking at the betting to see if there's any unusual money. What about the Stone Cold Flex, the 5 horse? It's very interesting. It showed some speed last time out. If you throw out the race, 2 races back, last race it prompted the pace, but 4 back it ran against better and didn't run bad. Last couple of races have been interesting, but the 5 horse is a horse maybe you want to consider at 14-1. Why is the horse 9-1 on the EE morning line? Why is this horse not 20-1?
Right.
So you know what I mean? That's just something to look at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the 6 horse Peppermint Man is stretching out now. The GSR doesn't go up, but that's the hard read. I don't like how the horse lost ground last time out sprinting. It showed some speed, so it'll probably show some speed earlier. I don't like that. I like to see a horse just running even, but the horse shouldn't be losing ground. But the EquinEdge long shot's been in fuego.
Right. I will tell you, that track, the main track, looks rather sloppy now. It's pouring. It looks like it's.
That's the dirt. But on the synthetic,
that's dirt, obviously, right? But I'm saying I'm not sure when we go back to the main track, but it just definitely changed from muddy to sloppy. The main track.
Who's interesting at a price is the 4 horse, because for whatever reason the 4 horse ran good 2 back, and then last time out it stretched out for the first time, and it didn't run a bad race against 9 other horses, only losing by 4 lengths, and then the stretch it was a half a length back. But here's the thing. That horse was only 2% to win that race. Today it's 14% in what looks to be a wide open race. If I could switch my pick right now, I would actually switch it to the 4 horse probably. The only negative I will say, it is the lowest GSR the horse had. So, maybe it wants to sprint, better, but it is cutting back a little bit from the 8.5 to this 1.70 yards. So, and that's for Kathleen O'Connell as well. I like the horse at least in the money on the 4 for sure as they're going into the gate. Let's watch the race.
Okay. Good luck, everybody. And if you notice, the 7 horse, who I thought would be 10-1, is the big drop down from 50 to 17.5 for Mark Cassey. We've got 3-1.
Where's the EE store? Where is it posted? 30-minute call. Okay. EE store posted above. Posted above where?
All right. Good luck, everybody. They're almost in line and ready to go.
They're in the gate. And they're off. From the rail, Rocketurn comes out firing from the middle. Peppermint Man showing speed on their outside. Here's the gray Oz moving up. Peppermint Man and Oz kick on. Sias takes hold of Rocketum to race in 3rd. Back to the outside. That Sponge Time was a bit deep on the course. Cajun's cooking works between. 1.5 lengths to Stone Cold Flex, who's in front of Skull Honor. The 2 at the back are Wine Gold and Attestation. To the backstretch they go with Peppermint Man in front by 1/2 length. Oz on the outside is their 2nd. Rocketum is 3rd at the inside. Outside it's Sponge Time. In between horses, Cajun's cooking. The 2nd flight, 1.5 lengths off.
Well, I don't think we're surprised with this horse stretching out, being on the lead. Oz is 7-2, sitting a nice trip.
24 seconds for the opening quarter. They race to the half-mile grounds. Peppermint Man and the colors of David Romanek in front by 1 length from Oz in 2nd. Rocketum is encouraged to keep up, but he's lost 2 spots. Outside it's Sponge Time. Cajun's cooking is in between horses. He's got some run now. Trying to wind it up from the back is Stone Cold Flex with Skull Honor.
Seven's done.
Is next. Oz just dropped anchor, so Cajun's cookies are going after Peppermint Man. They're under the top of the stretch. It's the Peppermint Man still in front. From the outside, it's Cajun's cooking.
There's the 4.
Winding up from last, or Wine Gold and Attestation, and they're on their way home. It's still Peppermint Man. He's yet to be headed, but right alongside Cajun's cooking. 3 back to Wine Gold, Attestation on the outside, in between horses, Skull Honor. They come past the 8th.
I don't think he's getting past this horse.
No, at the EquinEdge long shot.
He still has the lead. He's turning Cajun's cooking away. Stone Cold.
Oh, the 5's flying up the rail, but I don't think he's going to get there.
Oh, man. 6-5.
Temperament Man did not
Wow.
deserve to lose. He's in
I'm
the
telling you, the
winning order with
EquinEdge
Stone
long
Cold
shot
Steve.
has been absolutely on
141
fire, Dave.
and through.
Yep, that was a good play. 12 to 1 over 11 to 1. Bingo.
Wow.
Light drop down.
We
Bump
talked
spot
about
last
that.
time out, stretching out.
We talked about that 5 horse as well. Remember 9 to 1 on the EE
Yeah.
morning line?
Oh, yeah.
And the 4 horse Cajuns Cooking, who ran huge, got bet late. Did you see that? Horse got bet down to 6 to 1
You
last
did?
minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got a nice triple if you could come up with those numbers, which I couldn't because I couldn't come up. I wouldn't come up with the 5 especially, but so the 3. So yeah, boom.
By the way, on the top right of the screen is the QR code. So if you hover over that thing, then you get 3 free races a day. So if you want to try it out and see what it's all about, check that out. Don't forget to like the show, everybody, please. And you can subscribe to our channel by clicking on the bell if you're interested. And you'll get all the notifications of our shows, which we do three shows a week right now. And then, I don't know, Mike said he had to go into a meeting, but he said EE store posted above. Am I missing the store somewhere? What am I missing? No, we'll have to wait for him to get back.
Okay.
Let's see here.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he means by that.
Let's see. All right. What do we got? We got Aqueduct 4 coming up here shortly. The 1 didn't run, was dead on the board. The 8 didn't run either. What happened to your 8? I knew you were watching the 8. What happened?
Yeah, the 8 was stalking and just kind of tired. So, yeah, that was a disappointing performance.
Yeah, obviously. You know, I would suggest, too, for some people that maybe aren't as experienced, honestly, just play your feeder, maybe even your qualifier, and play the long shot. I mean, it's going to win, and it goes on a roll. Sometimes 2 or 3 winners in a card, you know. So you get a little bit lucky, but I've seen people do that and qualify for the NHC just by doing that.
Oh, sure, absolutely.
Yeah. God, I have to share this. You want to hear something pretty incredible?
Sure.
Now, there's an asterisk here. So in software development, you know, we've been working on a new GSR, right?
Yes.
Okay. In software development, though, things can happen, meaning like you can run the numbers and then something maybe threw them off and it wasn't true. Our current GSR that you're looking at here, it's not a win percentage algorithm, but it wins 20% of the time with a $6.04 payout. So mostly favorites are winning those races. It's well above the average 460 for the favorites winning, but it's still not, you know. You ready for the new one that I just got texted? You ready for this?
All right, let's check it out.
We just updated on staging the new GSR, or we're about to, excuse me. And the current win percentage has gone from 20.25% to 26.48%, and an average payout of $6.04 to an average payout of $7.06. Do you know how massive that is?
That is gigantic. Yes.
And he said, "Don't get excited yet. We're confirming it, but I'm like, are you serious? Like, yeah, it looks real, but we're confirming it. But wow, that's the difference between the way you look and I look, David. No joke. Yeah, exactly, Jeff. So, I mean, I would tell you this: the team right now, not right now, the team we have is just amazing. And you're talking about 60 hours a week of just with some really, really smart people working on these metrics. So right now, for the last 3 months, we've been on the GSR. So pretty exciting stuff.
Yeah, that is definitely exciting news.
To put that in perspective, David, when you're talking about software development or you're talking about stuff like this, you're hoping to get like a 1/4 point increase.
Yes.
Not 5 points.
That is that's a huge number. Absolutely.
I hope it's real. I hope it's real. Well, nothing yet, Ed. But the GSR we're working on is showing a lot of promise right now. But and I've just got text literally not too long ago, and I'm hearing some pretty cool stuff. Yeah, a lot of good stuff is coming. The new Handy View is just insane. You guys are going to be pretty stoked. David, the new Handy View is just insane. It's really good. So much easier to go through, especially with all the notes. And you're going to be able to put your own workout notes. If you're looking at a clocker report and you want to put some of that, you'll be able to do that. Kind of like you do here. You know how you can put a note here?
Yes. Yep.
Same thing. And you'll be able to do that on each of the past performance dates, or not the workout dates. So pretty cool. Nice. Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too.
Things on the horizon, my friend.
Yeah, it's like watching paint peel, though. This shit can take a long time, unfortunately.
I hear you. Yeah,
it does. Okay, just thought I would share that. Yeah, me too, Sylvain. It's gonna be exciting for the community. Yeah, by the way, too, if you guys are interested in the coaching classes, go to EquinEdge.com. And I had 14 people in that class yesterday, David. It was great.
Was it?
New people in there. It was so great. And but anyways, go to EquinEdge.com. It's free to you can join as many classes as you want. I do Thursdays. Justin does Wednesdays. Alfredo does a Spanish class on Thursdays, I believe, and then Chris does a class on Friday nights. Those are a lot of fun. They're drinking bourbon and having a good time. And yeah. Matt Miller jumps on a lot of the times too. It's pretty cool.
All you have to know is Chris Walsh on a Friday night. How could you not have a good time, right? Wherever he is.
That's for sure. Yeah. And so anyways, big shout out to Chris and to Oldie and to Justin. I know they're not on right now. It's like, these are the OGs, David. These are the OGs. Has the ticket generator been on fire? Well, that's great. So you might, Chris, does Chris? Yeah, I think Chris drinks. Does Chris drink? I think so.
Chris Walsh?
Yeah.
I went out to dinner with him a couple of weeks ago, and
Did he drink?
Well, now everybody drinks, but are you referring to alcoholic beverages?
No, we're not calling him an alcoholic. You don't have to worry about that. But does he actually drink?
He did have a adult beverage when I was with him.
He did. Okay.
And I did also have one myself. One is about my limit these days.
That's it?
Yeah.
When we went to dinner a couple of weeks ago, you had 4 or 5.
No bullshit. There's no way you're. If my doctor is listening, I am just going to be up Schitt's Creek. So that was a joke, by the way, Dr. Freeberg. That was a joke.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. All right.
It was more like 6 or 7, and you had to carry me out to the car.
I know
about that. So,
yeah, one's a starter. Yep, I'm with you.
One's like a breeze, right? A morning breeze.
Yeah, exactly. By the time you get to the race, you can't race anymore.
But I have to tell you, since I really cut down drinking and stopped for a number of months, all I need is one strong Tanqueray and tonic at the bar, which I had before you arrived. And I'm like, that's good enough for me. That's fine. Did you convince me to have a second drink? I don't remember.
I did. I
may have had one. Yes.
I did.
I may have had a second.
Okay, so the one horse is the favorite, 46%. We're not surprised by this. There was a reason why we didn't love this horse. First of all, the trainer is 6%, and he just had a big favorite get its ass kicked over at Gulfstream Park, I believe. It was the one horse. So maybe it was the last race here at Aqueduct. Let's see here. Yeah, King Phoenix. Yeah.
Right.
And so that was no bueno. 46% to win, though. He was 30% to win the last race. He's burnt money as the favorite in the last couple of starts. He seems to need the lead for his best. And, there's a lot of speed in here. That's what it is.
Right. And the 3 should press with blinkers on. But the one big factor in Liberty Central's favor is he did just miss by a head to a horse who won yesterday. So if you want to go in that route at even money, as Oldie likes to say, at 1-to-1, not my cup of tea. I'm rooting for Petrolo and the bond entry, but also rooting for the 5. And I think Scotty and I are both on Hagrid's Flame. Hopefully there's enough pace for the Hagrid's Flame. And I think there may be. So I'm not sold on Liberty Central at that price.
I'm on the 3 horse.
Oh, I thought you were on the 5 Hagrid's Flame.
I like the 5 for second, but I'm on the 3.
Oh, okay. I apologize. Yep.
No, it's fine. I like the 5, but I'm taking the 3 horse first time with Bill Mott. Very tactical, and I believe they're about to go into the gate. They're close to the gate. We'll give you the race call there, but let's. I'm thinking that the 1 and the 6, the 6 has to go. So I think the 6 is going to hurt the 1, and it's amazing how that works, David. The difference between dynamics of a race. If the 6 is not in the race, then the 1 probably gets an easy lead. But the fact that the 6 is in the race and it needs the lead and it's cheap, it can just do enough damage to hurt the big favorite. And that's just the way racing works, and you have to see that. That's why the pace number is so valuable. And you also have to look at the horses' past performances to see what their style is. You got horses that need the lead. You have horses that need to be on or near the lead. You have tactical horses, which I love the best. And then you have closers.
Right. And I believe, I agree with you, but I believe the 2B Petrolo, because I know the horse, I know the train. I think they're going to rush up and be part of the pace too. The horse likes to be close.
The horse can sit though. The horse doesn't have to be on the lead, but I hope it does go. I hope it does.
I think it's going to press because you have the entry made also with Frank.
Right. They are going into the gate right now, and your favorite is the 1 horse Liberty Central. This trainer, anyways, just lost last time out with the big favorite, the 1 horse. So. Let's see what happens here. You'll know almost immediately what happens in the race because you've got some horses that need the lead. There goes the 6 flying. 1's all out to get the lead, and the 6 is, and that 6 is going.
And the 1's rail is going to grab the lead.
1 got it.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see if the 6 pushes or tries to rate. And right now, the jockey's on the brakes trying to rate. Horse doesn't want any part of that. Like he's doing the 1
at all.
The horse wants no part of sitting. 24 flat is actually somewhat fast. And Petrolo is just sitting right off of them, getting the best trip right now.
Petrolo's sitting a good trip. And his entry mate's right. Yeah. Now, can Hagrid's Flame make a move here? Is there enough pace today?
My horse is in dead last.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the distance for the horse. Yep.
I can't tell whether the jockey's comfortable with the 3 horse or he's got no horse. I'm having a hard time reading it.
No, he might be
the favorite, but here comes the 2 horse, the 2B Petrolo you like a lot. And your 5 is making a move. My 3 is making a late move.
Yeah, the 3 switch to the far outside. That's going to be tough.
Yeah, that's tough.
But he's got 1. Like that. You may not catch this 1 horse today.
He's not changing leads. Here comes your 5.
Yeah, come on with this 5. Right by, baby.
Yep.
Just 2 seconds.
You got him.
You got him.
You got him. Nice call, David.
Okay, that'll do. The notes worked out on that one. All right.
Yeah, nice going. Nice call on that. I thought the 3 would be more tactical, but the 3 under Belmont first time, it's a hit or miss. It can either run good, but in this case, the horse did not run.
Right, and some of the things too. When I see the 3 horse second off a layoff, trainer switch going to Mott, blinkers on, it looks like they're looking for an answer. Right, 1 for 9. Never really gone 2 turns, so they're trying something. Maybe this horse is just a sprinter, right? And
yeah. And Dave makes a good point too. Like you can't go wide like that on any track for that matter and win unless you weigh the best. But that wasn't even what did it. The horse has tactical speed, was nowhere near the lead. The horse is just not doing well.
Right.
So and you got 5-1 on that horse. Great call on that.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Okay, we're going now. We have Gulfstream coming up. Do we have enough time to get to the Gulfstream? I think we're on Gulfstream 8. We finished 7th, right?
Yep, we're on Gulfstream race number 8. Let's get out there. Let's see if Justin has a horse at Fairgrounds real quick.
Sure, we have time. We're in pretty good shape here.
Okay, let's see what he has. He's just been on fire.
I've noticed that. I haven't, in all honesty, I haven't been playing a lot of Fairgrounds, but as we get closer and closer to the NHC, I will be playing more or watching more Fairgrounds and Oaklawn, and of course, Laurel.
So with the new Handy View, you're not going to have to click on every horse. You're going to be able to see it very easily by scrolling. That's going to make it a lot nicer. But he does have a note on the 4. His note says this horse is going to be tough to beat. Dropping in to the basement, lost by 18 lengths last time out. Yeah, it might be, but you know what I like? I like taking first-time starters in situations like this. I see the 5 horse at 21%, but it's not the EquinEdge long shot, so it's a little interesting that it's not. So for me, maybe a horse like the 8 horse to come from behind if the race falls apart, because you have the favorite who might just stop. And then you have a horse like Strumming Mary. So, you know, maybe take a horse like that horse and try to beat the big favorite.
Right.
Right. And I'm going to put a little bit on this horse. 5-1 right now. And then these, you know, first-time starters as well. You've got why is it the EquinEdge long shot's the 8 horse or the 7 horse? But okay, they just took off there. Let's
Fairgrounds is off.
Yeah, let's see what happens here. Let's see what the 4 does. So they're dueling up front, going pretty fast, 22-2. The 1 horse on the lead at 9-1. I believe that's our first-time starter. The 8 is closing, but it's going to have to they're going to have to stop up front for this 8 to get there. I'll tell you what, the favorite is toast.
Favorite is toast.
Oh, he's coming in between. He might get there, actually. The 1 horse not changing leads. And it's dueling with the 2 and the 4, and the favorite's going to get there last second. Look at that. 4-2.
4-2.
4-2.
Fairgrounds.
The horse was Secret Wine. And where could you? Okay, so the only place you could see this, you guys, is right here. And the horse was 2% to win last time out. Second off the layoff for Jonathan Thomas, and the horse goes up to 11%. And it's simple. What's important to note is, first of all, slow start. So you look at the trouble line, and then look at the stretch. So the horse not only broke slow, but then rushed up and was only 5 lengths back at the stretch. Now goes up to 11%. That's an angle. And second time for Lee Thomas, is 15%. So you can find horses that way. There's a lot of different angles to find horses, but that's one of them. All right, let's get to Gulfstream Park.
Race 8, right? We've got 6 minutes, probably more like 8 minutes for the 4th race at Gulfstream. So we got a little time here.
So Trapezoid is 6-5 right now, the big favorite. Your horse, Supreme Dominance, is 9-2. So it's getting a little bit of action. Yeah. So, but we have to do, why don't we try before this Gulfstream Park race that's going to go up in about 8 minutes. Let's try to do the 8th race. How's that sound?
Sure.
Okay.
Sounds like a plan.
All right.
I don't have to go too far here because I have a pretty solid play here where I think is going to be it's going to be really tough to beat. I did have a concern. It looks like the 5 is clearly the top pace metric. Will have the lead, but should take some pressure from the 1 here. And this is a 5 furlong to Peter race. But I just, to me, this looked like a 2-horse race between Mark Cassie's horse on the outside, Entrepreneurship, and also the 6 David's Rose. I am not going to make a hunch play here and use David's Rose. David's Rose had beaten at 34-1, had beaten the 8 horse last time out, and the 8 horse was 3-5. So any time a horse loses at 3-5, I'm a little reluctant to come back with this horse, but now it cuts back a little bit in distance. I just think this horse, for some reason, I don't see a trouble line per se, but just didn't get out of the gate that great and closed, and it was a little too late. But I think off that, this horse probably has a little more upside than the 6 horse. So I just thought the top Scotty pick was really tough to beat today. So I'm using the 8 here, Entrepreneurship. And the concern I had, Scotty, is the 5 horse, who maybe is a little cheaper than these, is 39% to win. So what do you think about that horse? I'm a little unsure. This horse loves to win 4 in a row. Can he move up in class here? And what was the SOR?
I'm a little suspect of the horse, only because why is this horse 4-1 on the E morning line? I don't like that at all. I really don't like that. I know he's going to have the lead, but there's something suspect about that for me. And then you see 7-5 on the 8 horse, the EquinEdge top pick. This horse looks like the real deal. There's not even a question who I'm going with. I'm going with the 8.
Okay. Yeah, okay. We're both on the 8. And while we're going there, Sylvain, first-time qualifier. I know you are. Congratulations. And I'm going to be giving you similar advice than Bill did. When I went there the first time, I was not prepared. So I would stress, there's 2 ways to look at it. Either you go there to have a good time and celebrate you getting there. That's fine. But if you want to have any chance to make the cut or make the final table or do well in this and cash out, I would suggest that you try to be as prepared as possible. Just pick your races, go through kind of in advance of that day, knowing which races you like, which optionals you're going to consider, which optionals you're not. I always make a plan since the first or second year I was there. I categorize every race and I label it an A, B, C, or an F. An F race I'm not playing in any case. I'm not even going to look at it a second time. A, obviously, a lot of the A's become mandatories the next day. And B, C is basically races that you can consider, because I don't think you can go in and looking at 70-something races a day and start weeding one by one as you're sitting at the table there. So be prepared, have a strategy. And just be aware that it moves very fast. So that's why I think you need to have some sort of plan and look at the post times and don't get shut out. And that's the one case. You got to be kind of alert. Yeah.
The manager's in the house. Whatever, Al, whatever time the coaching class is, I'm pretty sure you'll see it up there on the site. But yeah, it's the same time as usual. I think it might be, I don't know. I don't know what time it is. You'll have to look there, confirm that. Did you, I think I saw Mike Saletta back. Mike, did you see, you said up above, but where is the, do you have any idea where the merch store is? Am I missing it somewhere? Okay. In this, let's do real quickly. We've got about 3 minutes before this race over at Gulfstream Park. If you had, it's a big field. Do you have a strong opinion in here, or should we wait
on the 9th race? Yeah. Scotty, I put my picks in advance, so on my one ticket. So yeah. There's 2 horses I was interested in here, and it may just be because of a loyalty thing. Because a couple of races back, I had the 10 True Myth in Tampa on that November 30th race with his horse closed, and you just kind of missed by a length and a quarter. I think watching that race, that horse with another 16th of a mile may have gotten there. I don't love the outside draw. However, it changes things now going to synthetic, right? So that was my original pick. So we may have to come back to this.
Yeah, we'll come back.
Take another look, because I'm not sure this horse. I'd have the same play on synthetic. I may stick with it. Mendelssohn's usually on synthetics are okay, but I think there's a lot of stuff going on here. Tough race.
I don't see. Where do you see? Are you talking about the? I don't think it's the QR code, right? That's for the 3 free races per day. Where do you see? Am I missing something? Where do you see the merchandise store? Anybody else see it? I don't see it. All right, they're at the gate for this race. You're on the race.
I'm on
number
the
4.
3.
You're on the 3, and I'm on the 5 trapezoid. I actually really like trapezoid in here. And the 3-horse Supreme Dominance, but I like that horse looks really, looks like the real deal as well.
Okay. Yeah, this is you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 horses taking money here, and then you've got a 7-1 shot. This, for a 6-horse field is pretty competitive.
So the 4 horse is getting played. The reason that is, the reason the 4 is getting played is because it's 9-5 on the odds makers morning line. So that doesn't. The one that's interesting to me, the most interesting, is the 5 horse getting played, David, right? Because it's 4-1 on the odds makers morning line, and this horse is paying $113.50. So clearly, people are playing that horse in the exotics. It looks like the 3.
Right. However, it changes things because now we have a sloppy track. The 3 has never competed on an off track, where the 5 is 4 for 8 on a wet track. So that's, to me, why the 5 is taking money.
Yeah, I'm all over this 5.
Yeah, all right. I mean, I 5 on this with this track surface may be tough to beat here.
Yeah.
I need to squeeze a few more dollars out of the leaderboard. So even if I get a second here, I still have a shot to get a second ticket with the feeder.
Yeah. You know what you got to remind me to do, David? I think it's really important. I'm glad Go Fast brought that up. We need to look at the will pace because you can get some tells in there.
Oh, absolutely.
We really need to do that. I forget to do that, and we should be doing that all the time.
To me, that's valuable advice. Absolutely. All right, so they are behind the gate here at Gulfstream.
Let's see.
Do you? Scotty's.
I'm listening. Go ahead.
Okay, are you familiar with the jockey on the 5 trapezoid?
I am not.
Urban Meta?
I'm guessing he came down from Tampa Bay, is what I'm guessing.
Is that Tampa?
I believe. Because he rode this horse at Tampa last time out. So.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Right. So that's my guess.
Maybe I'm wrong, but I thought his name came up at Golden Gate back in before they closed. Okay. All right. We got to look up his numbers. All right, they're off. Good luck, everybody.
Ready for the early lead. Bringer of Rain has some tactical speed. Dominance is up into the top flight. Trapezoid is on their outside. Wide on the course is Bold Looker, and Boldness is moving through at the rail. Boldness, the Grays, now ahead in front. And the 3 path is Bringer of Rain, in between horses Supreme Dominance. Up on their outside, Trapezoid will have to race from off the speed. Today he's racing in 4th, racing together with Royal Act. And Bold Lookers, where he always
Colonial Downs,
in the back of the field behind an opening quarter of 24.
Well, okay. Maybe Laurelton, maybe the Mid-Atlantic Circuit too.
It's Bringer of Rain in between.
Four horses drifting way out.
They're a length and a half in front of Royal Act. Erdanita keeping after Trapezoid to stay in range. He's 5th, and he's 4 better than Bold Looker. They went the half in 47-1. No rest for the weary here. They have 3 furlongs to go. It's
one's done.
Rain and Rajiv Mirage boldly now to take the lead.
It's raining. It makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Bringer of Rain, hunch play.
Trapezoid's
5 not running, 4 Bringer of Rain.
Bringer of Rain is
that was the 9-5 morning line favorite.
Yeah, 4-1.
Supreme Dominance is now 2nd. Royal Act is 3rd. Trapezoid and on the far outside, Bold Looker. Off the turn,
you're not
the
catching
stretch drive, Margin Mirage and Bringer of Rain have the lead an 1/8 of a mile.
All over the place.
He's wandering. He's tiring.
Royal Act takes aim in between horses. Supreme Dominance. They come.
I don't know. I think they're going to get him.
Royal Act with the late rally trying to catch Bringer.
He's all over the place.
But he drifts
all over.
Lead. Bringer of Rain in front.
Yep, Bringer of Rain. There's your hunch play.
Third, fourth was Trapezoid.
Bringer of Rain.
Bringer of Rain in front. All right, that probably cooks me for the feeder. Oh, no, we still got gimme.
All right.
All right, we got plenty of time. There's 9 minutes before the Aqueduct race. So we'll go to the 9th race at Gulfstream.
Okay. We're going race 9 at Gulfstream Park.
All right, so let me pull this up here because it's a totally different ball game from when I handicapped this morning, and I put my plays in. So now we have a Tapeta, and the interesting thing is there's only one scratch. The one is out. So we work through this. So my original play
looks like a vertical line here. Look at this. Like this is not an easy race.
This may be the most difficult race. So usually when a race comes off the turf, I'm looking to see on the surface, has anybody had success on the Tapeta or shown any life on the Tapeta? And I'm looking at the 3 first timers Magic, who's had 2 races last year on the Tapeta as a 3-year-old. A pretty decent third first time out, then was betting as a favorite. And then I've got a trouble line here, bore out. Okay, then switched to the turf, shipped up to Monmouth, didn't really lift a hoof, steadied early, didn't lift a hoof at Delaware, layoff, Tampa, tiring third, and now comes back second off of layoffs. This horse is eligible as a contender, right?
Yeah.
But not sure if there's not a better play here. So I would definitely consider that horse now. British Empress has also raced on the 5, has raced on the Tapeta also with a couple of decent thirds earlier this year. That horse should be prominent. And who's going to be on the lead? This is a tough race, Scotty.
It really is. It is. The 10-horse True Myth is an interesting horse if it can break good, but it's dropping in class. The win percentage goes up, and unfortunately the GSR drops. But if we're going to see horse, and it's the EquinEdge long shot too, if you're going to see a horse dropping in GSR win, it's going to be on the synthetic. It just is. Like, it just is. And the reason is because there's a lot less samples on the synthetic. And so, and if you think about a lot of when we look at the generations, synthetic wasn't as big of a thing. So you see what I'm saying? So a lot of the horses and their family, when we go back on the GSR 3 generations, there's a lot less of them. And nowadays, a lot of the horses are getting used to it. So that's why sometimes you'll see lower GSRs. So I'm not ready to throw out a horse like this. The truth is, this horse actually on the drop in class could be very, very tough to beat, the EquinEdge long shot.
Yeah, I'm at this point. It may be a coin flip for me between the 10 True Myth. Don't love the post, but really, when you're looking at it, the post is probably a little more desired. Not as well. It's probably better to have the 10 post on the synthetic than it is a 10 post on the turf course, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But
how about this though? How about the 2 horse? Look at this. This horse is 20-1 on the odds makers morning line. It's the top EquinEdge pick. It's 9-1 on the EE morning line. Like, when's the last time you saw an EquinEdge top pick that was 20-1 on the odds makers morning line? I mean, why not? It's going to save ground from the inside. I think this horse is a player.
I can't play that horse, Scotty. I don't think Barkley Tag has ever had a winner on a synthetic track. And knowing Barkley, I don't think is a big. I think they're just leaving this horse in to get a race off a layoff, probably to just get a race over the track or some conditioning. I am not sold on this horse. So to me, this is a dirt or a turf horse.
Okay. It's training from what I'm seeing with the clock reports. It's actually training fairly nicely in the morning. So
yeah. Oh no. And I would be more confident with the move to the turf. And that's my play. First time turf against a field that is a little spotty turf form and has raced on turf, but never really had any great form. Yeah. But in this case, to me, it's a coin flip between the 3 and the 10. I could use either. I'll probably lean to the 10 right now. But also, I think the 6 Buddhist Prodigy for Jeremiah O'Dwyer First time synthetic, would have been second time turf. Catholic boy off really a non-effort last, just dropping way down to 25 here. Synthetic, this horse still deserves a chance with blinkers on. So to me, it looks like a 3-horse race, 3, 6, 10. I will probably settle on the 10, but it's going to be a late coin flip for me.
Sylvain, so EquinEdge .myspreadshop. EquinEdge.myspreadshop. That's the merchandise. Thank you very much, Mike.
Very good. Thank you, Mike.
We appreciate that, Mike.
Yes.
So yeah, it's a tough freaking race. Why not? I honestly, I'd have to spend an hour on this race, and we don't have an hour. So Dutch Row horse. This horse broke 11th last time out. Now it's dropping into this 35,000. Castellano jumps aboard. I mean, maybe this horse. Let me look at the clocker report on the 11 real quickly and see how it's training. It's actually training good.
Had a bullet workout, 2 back. But I mean, the question is on Tapeta. Yeah, right. The horse didn't lift a hoof first time out, but it was a terrible post and gets a bad post again today. But better to have the 11 post on the synthetic on the Tapeta than the 2-turn mile on the turf course, in my opinion.
Yeah. I think I'm going to take a chance on the 2-horse. Why not?
All right, let's see what the. Oh, we got a familiar face, familiar name, tied on the feeder, tied for the lead in the feeder. Chris Littlemore, former NHC champ. Hello, Chris. Mm-hmm. Good guy, by the way. He sat at the table next to. I know Chris pretty well now. And let's see, Lawrence Colden, the tournament player, Dylan McIntosh, Patrick Gianforte, Peter Dresden's.
What about this British Express, this 5-horse? Would you give this horse another chance?
Yeah, I would. Is a contender just because of those 2 third-place finishes on the Tapeta. So where there are some horses we don't have any form on the Tapeta, this horse has at least showed it can run pretty, evenly on a Tapeta. And if some of these don't handle the Tapeta, he's got a shot with JR.
All right, I'm going to go with the 5-horse. Who are you going with in here?
It's a coin flip, but let me say it's a 10 over the 3. Hopefully, I'll have a second entry, so I don't have to make that decision. So I just need gimme. If we get gimme, I probably will have 2 entries, so it'll be 10 on one and 3 on the other.
All right, so we're going to have race number 5 at Aqueduct that we're going to be covering.
That's coming up very shortly, and it's getting a little darker out. So let me just try to get a little more light here. Hold on 1 second. All right, and then after this race, I'm gonna take a break for a minute. Let's see. Where's my light?
I actually will be right back, you guys.
Okay, so we're not manning. Hold on a second. I'll be right back with you. All right, maybe get a little light. Hopefully that's not too bright, but now I can see a lot better, so that works for me. Very dreary day out there, even with the window open. It's 35 degrees. For us, that's mild here. All right, so we're on. So Scotty is on the 5 British Empress in the 9th race at Gulfstream. I'm on the 10 or the 3, and let's see, but how close are we getting to the big A? It's momentarily, let's see. All right, there's still about a minute or 2 to post. And gimme, the horse that Scotty and I are both on is 6-1. Nice solid price. Dropping back down from that 80,000 claimer after an impressive maiden win. And stretching out to a distance. And I think this horse may be in a good spot today. And they're showing this horse right now on the track. And to me, I don't have a equine physiology degree, but it looks pretty good on the track to me. And so they're loading, they're getting behind the gate. And then let's just go to see what the next race is on the qualifier. And I'll pull that up. Entries. All right, make picks. All right, so we went through Gulfstream. So the next race on the hit parade would be the 7th at the Big A. Let me pull that up. 7th race at Aqueduct. Let me just pull up my notes. Aqueduct 7th race coming up for the qualifier. Okay, here we go. We got the top Scotty pick. Carol said no. The 6 horse, then Ada May, who is the 1A, and then 7 My Vanilla. I think I do like another horse in this race who's the top pace factor, and that is No Factor. He's the top pace metric, but I think he's going to be a factor today because of his speed, but could face some pressure from both the 7 and the 6. Carol said no, who was the top EquinEdge pick with blinkers on, and Manny Franco board second time on layoff. The 5 and 6 could hook up here. And the more that I look at it, the 3 is going to add some pace. And the problem I have with this race is a lot of them look like they need to be on or close to the lead. And is that going to result in a sort of a pace meltdown? So I don't think there's a real solid closer in here. And that may have been Mandy's Miss, who now is a scratch. So I'm at square one. So, and now Ada May does look like the closer in here, but also showed speed in the past and now takes blinkers off. This is another tough race, Scotty.
It is.
We started looking at the 7th race, but we can go back to Aqueduct here. We need Gimme Gimme.
Yep.
All right, they are loading in. The 7 is going in. So gimme, 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 and then we should be good. Good luck, everybody.
If this horse wins, you get in, right?
Yeah, I'm close. Top 36, I'm in 50 something. Yeah, that should be $20. That should get me there or close. I've lost these feeders and qualifiers by 10 cents before. I'm sure it's happened to you. Good luck, everybody.
Broke very good. Wow. That's a great break.
Question is stretching out to a mile, but didn't rate a good stalking trip here so far. Jury's out. Who was the logical speed horse here at the lead?
Six coming through on the rail.
All right, 4 looks like it's making a move, and the 5's making his move here. Let's see what happens. This one might be tough to catch. Come on, give me one time here. I don't think you're getting it done. No, in between horses, never a good thing. The horse is done. Horse is done. Arcadian coming up the rail. Rail trip, perfect trip.
I can't remember if we considered that horse, David.
I don't think we mentioned it, but comes off an impressive win. It was claimed for 20 off from Wayne Potts is the new trainer. But 1 for 21. His barn was absolutely cold.
Cold,
yeah.
Cold. I can't play anything Wayne Potts. I just can't.
No.
So
got a perfect rail trip, and the 5 just now the 5 being a Munnings, maybe is probably just prefers a sprint, so they'll probably cut that horse back in distance. So gimme to try the distance, and even though on the dam side you got to Bernardini on that dam side, probably not a distance horse.
That's actually the EquinEdge long shot. Wow. That horse was claimed 7 days ago. Good catch on that, Rob. Look at that.
Came right back, wheeled right back, race over the track. And the interesting thing is, well, I guess off the claim, another reason why I would have been reluctant is Manny Franco. Again, it's a totally different trainer. Franco may not ride for Pops, but Franco goes off that horse. You would think if Franco on, that would be a sign of some confidence.
Well, that was a hell of a claim, huh?
It was a very good claim. Yes.
All right.
All right.
Now we're done with Gulfstream. Now we're going to get to Aqueduct race number 7. We have to do 7, 8, and 9.
Yes, 7th race. I just started going through it. And the one thing that struck me here, Scotty, was there seems to be a lot of speed. There's a contentious pace between the 5, 7, 3, 6. And even some of the other horses in the race, they seem like they want to be forward. So originally I started looking for a closer, and that closer would have been Mandy's Miss, the one, but she's out. So don't really know where to go. And I think when I can't find a decent closer and there seems to be a contentious pace, I'm either going to go with one of the speeds. I think I'm going to go with the main speed and hope that the horse gets brave on the front end, and that would be the 5, No Factor. It would be between the 5 and the 6 here for me. No Factor or Carol Said No, second off a layoff, and that's the Scotty top pick. So now the 5 has never raced at the NYRA circuit at the Big A, has been strictly at Finger Lakes. Broke its had a bad debut race, broke slow, so you can throw that race out. Then came back and won pretty easily at 4.5 to 1 at Finger Lakes, 5.5, stretched out to a 6 furlong in actually there's a stakes race, overnight stakes, 45K. Showed some speed before tiring. Gets Lasix today. I'm going to go with the 5 here, wire to wire.
Okay. Just going with the 5.
And new trainer, DePaz. So he's only 8% first time back, but in a race like this, I'm not going to let that bother me.
Yeah. How about this? Carol Said No, 35% to win, 5 to 2 on the E9.
Second time off a layoff, just broke his maiden, blinkers on, Lasix on. The question is, with the blinkers on, this horse probably will show a little more speed. Is it going to create a speed duel between the 5 and the 6? That is the question.
Yeah.
I'm a little concerned about that, but I just couldn't come up with a closer who I liked here. I mean, the closer would be the 9 Power Driver, but coming up from Laurel, I mean, this horse could be live. This horse would be a price. I don't ever think of Power Driver. That's your closer, right? If you have a pace meltdown, you can close on this track today.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Man, if he came up the rail, if Carol Cedeno comes up the rail like the last race.
What about this A2A, the 1A?
Blinkers off, Mike Marcelli, 25 claimer, synthetic, and only try was you gotta show me something on a dirt track, synthetic and off the turf at Saratoga on the sloppy track. Didn't lift the hook. 3 times as a favorite, lost twice. Blinkers on, blinkers off today. Yeah, I'm not sold.
So Rodney is currently. Rodney made it to the qualifier.
Right, good deal, Rodney. Let me pull up that leaderboard. Where are you there, Rodney? So I finished in 58th. The top 36 get in. And Rodney is, I see you, 15th. Congratulations. You're on a 5 train. I see you're on a 5 train later on, and there's nothing wrong with that. I had a guy at our table 2 years who, he just liked to play. If he couldn't come up with a horse, he'd just play the 8 horse. And I'm like, and he was on the cusp twice, right near the cut line. And whatever works for you, whatever works. It's still a game of chance. There's a lot of money on the line. If you just want to play 5 horses all day long, You get a couple of bombs, cap horses, you could rewrite there. So I'm not going to knock anybody with any strategy in NHC.
Does the 7 need the lead? The EquinEdge long shot? Because it's going to get a good trip.
Yeah, it looks like this type of horse that the only race it's won was on the lead. The other ones that either had the lead or, I'd be reluctant to make a conclusion that this horse could rate. So yeah, I'm skeptical.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other horse, I mean, now it's the question of maybe there is a speed duel and maybe I won't play the 5. Maybe I should go to the 9, Power Driver.
Yeah.
Let's see.
The 3 broke its maiden pretty easily.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for Bruce Levine, Roddy Valente.
But
at a 25, where
it looks to need the lead.
Yeah, that's what I said. It gets to the point where it's like everybody looks like they need to either have the lead or want to be close to the pace. What's the hey, if you look at the SORs, this 9 Power Driver, the last 2 races, comes out of a 76. That was the Smart Halo Stakes. And let's see who was in that race. 71-1, way over its head.
Today's the day, Rodney.
Rodney, I'm going to be rooting for you, brother. Today's your day.
You're going to be sitting at that table with us.
You're going to be sitting at that damn table. And Rodney, if you qualify today, your first adult beverage when you arrive in Vegas is on me.
You get those for free.
Now you had to give that away. Thank you, sir. What are you eating, by the way?
I'm trying to eat healthy, as I was saying earlier, but I'm chicken and avocado.
Oh, nice.
Chicken and avocado, but I'm trying to eat throughout the day a little bit, like short, little portions, because I won't eat for up to 8-9 hours, but then I'll eat too much.
Right.
When sitting.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah.
That's my MO. I'm struggling in this race.
Yeah,
I like your 5. The 5 gets off the rail. First time here at Aqueduct. Does it need the lead?
Yeah, I do like the 5. I have the 5. Let's see. I've got a couple of exotic plays there with the 5 in it, but I have to tell you, Scotty, the more that I look at this race, I think I'm switching. It just seems that there's too many of these fillies that want to be so close to the pace. It's an even track. We saw Hagrid's Flame close. We saw the 8 close up the rail. I'm not sure how this 9 class-wise shapes up here, but if you look at the SORs, it's dropping way down, but didn't lift a hoof in both last 2 races. Drops down, and I don't think beat much in its opening race, its debut race. But give me the 9 Power Driver. What the hell?
All right.
I'm going to switch. I'm going to do a switcheroonie here and go with the. So now that means everybody listening should jump all over the 5 horse. So it's usually when I do that, it bites me in the ass, to be honest.
I'm looking at this 6 horse. Carol said no, and I know it's the top EquinEdge pick, but it also is 5-2 EE morning line. It's also 35% to win. It's also got a good GSR. And I recognize it faced 4 horses, but it was off of a layoff. And the horse in its second start ran a pretty darn good race against a similar group to today. Mm-hmm. And the win percentage is still really high. And this horse can rate and sits a good trip right behind all that speed. You know what I mean? So like, I'm thinking that maybe this 6 horse gets a good trip.
Do you think the 6 horse can rate? Well, rated a little bit last time out. Yeah. Okay.
I actually have no doubt this 6 horse can rate. So like, it's going to be sitting in the garden spot.
Right. But yeah, with blinkers on though, and if you look at the trouble line, first of all, this horse in the last race, it was only a 5 horse field and it was bet off the board and then veered in at the break. So if the horse didn't veer in at the break, would the horse have gotten a lead? It's a question. So I still think it's contentious, but I think I could use either of those 3, 5, 6, or 9. So
You know, what's interesting is, and I don't know about this one, after the win, they're adding blinkers for the first time.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Find that interesting?
Because I think maybe the veering at the start. That's my guess. Yeah.
And the 1A, new connections.
The
Maselli
1A, new connections. Mike Maselli comes
this
down.
horse keeps drawing inside post. Look at this. Like, that's brutal.
Right, but again, this synthetic horse. So.
What's that? Oh, it's a synthetic horse. Yeah.
Synthetic horse. Yeah. I'm not sold. You got to show me you can compete on a dirt track. Yeah. Yeah, a little tough. So I'm on the 9. 9 over the 5.
I'm going to take the 1A. I'm going to take the 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Scotty, I'm locking you in to Ada May, the
Ada May
synthetic shipper from Woodbine, who did make her first start at Saratoga in a race intended for the turf.
All right. The next one is Aqueduct race number
8. Aqueduct 8th race. Okay, let me pull that up. Now you're going to have a prohibitive favorite here, in my opinion, and that's Dolomite, who is the EquinEdge or Scotty top pick, 38 win percent. Tough horse to beat. Chad Brown coming out of a stakes race off a layoff, cutting back in distance from 1 1/8 miles. You're only going a mile today. Optional claimer 45 for state bred fillies and mares. Based on the cutback, the layoff, would this horse need a race possibly? Maybe, but it looks to be the class of the race. Ran into Demoiselle, a grade 2 on a muddy track, going 2 turns, and solid second in the Fleet Indian. But this horse has been favored a number of times, has gotten the job done 2 out of 3 times as a favorite. Yeah, it's going to be tough. It's a logical favorite, is a must use in anything you're playing, but I'm probably going to go in a slightly different direction here and look for a price to maybe get up for second, or that has some form on the track. There should be enough pace up front. The 5, Malou is going to be winging. The Shoe Lady stretching out to a distance should be close or on the lead. We got enough pace up front, I think, here. The horse that I was interested in, and I took a look at it, and I think I'm going to settle on, is the 4 horse, Burnt Again. Hold on a second. And that's the horse who's got obviously a closer. Comes out of the turf, and you got a couple of layoff lines that concern me, but had a 2 back at 23-1, had a nice race, a nice second over the turf course, and has won on the dirt at Aqueduct on December 14th last year, going 2 turns by a length and a half over probably a nondescript field. I don't know let's see what the SOR is in that race. He beat a 54 group. He's got a 62 group today. But because of the success on the main track, off a layoff, Chatino, he's a tricky trainer. He can score with a long shot. They don't have a lot of horses in his barn. I'm looking for a price. I think the 1 is the likely winner here, Scotty, but I'm gonna take a shot with the 4 to give him a tussle, and maybe the 1 will need a race. So I'm going with the Burnt Again.
What I like about the 8 horse Fast and Frisky is Abreu off the layoff to come here going the same conditions and win. And I was just very impressed with that effort, and good GSR. And if the 2 horse isn't all that or ready and doesn't have a perfect trip, then I think the 8 horse sits a perfect trip from the outside. The horse is tactical. So I like the 8.
Fast and Frisky, the Scotty's second pick, and is Scotty McKeever's first pick today. So you're on the 8, Fast and Frisky.
Yep.
And I'm on the 4, Burnt Again. That horse has burned me in the past. So I hope I don't get burnt again.
I hope not. All right, let's run this thing. Here we go.
Okay. All right, 9th race at the Big A. Okay. Now we're gonna have a little fun here. This is I have to tell you, if this was not a mandatory, hypothetically, let's call this a optional race on first day of NHC. Friday makes sense. I'm all over a race like this in the NHC.
Okay.
You got to use if it's not a mandatory, because I think you could have a crazy long shot here. These horses, these New York breds, are just maidens. You can get just a really strange result here based on these races in the past. So I am not even going to put any effort into the horse. I do like for real money wagering is the 2 Stormy's Dream. Second at this condition, had a nice second in the last race, chasing the pace. Now stretches out to a mile, and after dropping off several races at a maiden special weight state bred, logical spot. I think 10-1 morning is value. I'm not sure what we're going to get at post time, but in all honesty, sometimes you have to go with loyalty, and I'm rooting for this barn and this owner, and I've got to go with the 8 Landauer. My guy Steve Bick, that's his horse. He's down there. He made the trip down from upstate New York to watch his horse run. Gary Shiaka's a low profile trainer, low percentage trainer, but he can score with these New York breds. I just think in a field this suspect, I'm rooting for my guy Steve Bick. Let's go with the 8 Landauer, and my other logical horse is the 2. So it's kind of a hunch play or a loyalty play. Let's go, and I hope Steve wins this race. So I'm going to be on the 8 Landauer.
Okay. So the 2 horses I'm looking at are the 2 and the 6 horse. I like this horse, saving ground on the inside. I like the mile for this horse. It ran good first time. I just wanted to see it break a little bit cleaner, but it's just a slow breaker. But from the inside, look what it did when it dropped into class. It ran really good. Now the win percentage drops a little bit, but I think that horse is a player. Judge Rules, the EquinEdge second pick. This is an interesting horse because the GSR is jumping up 11 points from last race, and it's facing a little bit tougher. But the horse has handled that before. So the horse has run good on the dirt. It's been on the turf horse the last 7 races, I think. Yeah, it's 6 or 7 races. But it has 4 seconds and 3/3. Starting to worry a little bit about his resolve. Mm-hmm. But it's one that you have to consider. I know I only said 2 horses, but I think we should look at I think you do have to look at the 12 horse.
The 12, absolutely.
But the horse draws the 12 hole again, and it's going to be wide again. And the 10's fast, the 9 is fast. So it has the 11 horse, the 13 on the outside. So for those reasons, I'm going to try to beat this horse. 6 and 2 are closing big time. And I'm just struggling between those 2 horses.
Yeah, and this is why I originally circled the 12 horse, Katani, and the race at a mile after like 4 turf races in a row was not bad. But again, you can go so many different directions here. Judge Rules has got a shot. I even think the 7 Phil Serpy's horse on his best day has a shot here, flying off the pace. This is just a head scratcher. So in a head scratcher, let me make my hunch play and root for my friend's horse.
Yeah. How about the 10 horse, the horse to watch? It's 3-1 in the EE morning line. It's 22%. It's not the EquinEdge long shot, which was interesting, but this one is lightly raced and not a money burner. Should we be looking at a little bit closer?
Yeah, absolutely. Linda Rice. Linda Rice is dominating this winter meet. And now this is Magic Beach, right? Yeah. Not Magic Bus. Magic Bus. That song's in my head now, Magic Bus. It's probably before your time. It's probably dating myself, but you know who sings Magic Bus?
Who?
Oh, there you go.
No.
We didn't plan that. That was a good one.
That was good. Yeah.
Exactly right. It's like,
Exactly.
it sounds like an Abbott. Well, I'm really dating myself
It
now.
does.
You're doing an Abbott and Costello routine. Who? Yes,
Who's
who?
on,
But who?
who's on first?
There you go. Right. No, he's on second. All right. With that, I think definitely, Scotty, in my opinion, you can use 5 or 6 or 7 here. And just
All right, I'm on the 10.
Okay.
All right,
And
let's
I'm on
watch
the 8.
this race over at Gulfstream Park.
Okay. Gulfstream 5th.
And the race simulator has the one horse winning the race, first time starter, but the picks are the 2, 5, and 7.
Security. Good start for Bay of Bengal in the middle of the racetrack with Dream Builder alongside, moving out the rail. Oath of Omerta now moving up. Oath of Omerta has inside position and ahead in front. Dream
By
Builder
accident.
second from Bay of Bengal. Then at the rail, what?
Well, this is our first race.
Baker Street.
No,
Farther
no.
up, Classy War in front of the grid.
No, race
Back in the
6
saddle,
is.
third last. Second last is Capture.
Oh, this is race 5. Okay.
Security. And the run to the back stretch. It's an easy lead for David Egan and long shot Oath of Omerta on top by a length and a half. Dream Builder is second. Bay of Bengal is third. Baker Street on the outside fourth. At the rail, what? Me Worry is racing in fifth. At the center is Classy War. Back in the saddles, the gray between horses.
Now what about the 6?
Back are
Punch play for Aerosmith.
and Capture. They make their way to the half-mile point. It's still Oath of Omerta. His lead is a length and a quarter now. A bit closer into second is Dream Builder.
I never like those horses that run with their head down like that.
Street,
Yeah.
Bay of Bengal. Getting started on the outside. Here's Davis on race favorite class.
Except when he wins by 10, you're gonna whoever had him is gonna love him.
There is nobody closing.
And Oath of Omerta
Nobody.
still the one to reel in. It's Oath of Omerta.
Now, is this when the track is changing, where it's got enough moisture in it that you can't catch anybody on the lead?
It's possible.
Under pressure is Baker Street.
It's
Classy
stopping
War
now.
fans widest of all, but continues to run on. Off the turn and the stretch drive. Here's Classy War down the center. On between horses, What Me Worry. Baker Street
He's
for the rush.
hanging in there a long time now.
16th of a mile. What? Me Worry strides to a narrow lead. Baker Street is second. Down the
Look,
center,
look at the
back
6
into
flying.
What? Me Worry in front.
386.
What Me Worry wins by half a length.
What,
Baker
me?
Street.
Worry?
All right, hold on a second. We're gonna see. Willie will probably get this one. Some of the old timers out here. Let's see. Do you know what the What Me Worry reference is, Scotty?
What the what?
The name of the horse. What Me Worry? What is that
What?
reference?
Me Worry? No.
Yeah, it's an old kind of comic book back in, or publication back in the day. Anybody? You want to give somebody a hat if they get it?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Any answers there? Doing a little trivia. Mad Magazine, Go Fast and Win. There you go. That the Mad Magazine character, whatever his name is, it's like What Me Worry. There you go. Okay. Good answer.
Right.
Good answer.
You get a hat.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, Willie. I didn't mean that. You just seem to know a lot about old trivia. So,
Yeah.
you got, I got 20 years on you, my friend. So,
Willie's young.
oh, yeah.
God, isn't that crazy to think?
You know, I have to tell you, with your name, I just think of Willie Nelson, and I'm thinking of an older dude, obviously because of your namesake. But I apologize for that. I've seen your pictures on Twitter, and you're definitely a young guy.
No, he looks old as hell.
Alfred E. Newman. Thank you, David. Alfred E. Newman. All right.
I'm joking, Willie. I'm just teasing you.
Spy versus Spy. I used to love that. Yeah, the Spy versus Spy routines. Rodney, you probably always rooted for the white spy, right? All right, got to be careful how I say that. There were 2 spies. One was dressed in white, one was dressed in a black hood. So let's not go there. Somebody's going to misinterpret that, and I'm going to be barred from. Yeah, that magazine was hilarious. Yes, actually, we were out somewhere. I think we were at Barnes and Noble in Plantation down in Florida, and I think I saw a Mad magazine. I'm like, they still have a special edition, 50-year anniversary or something. So, all right, before I go mad, let's. I need help.
David.
Yes,
David. So you got a note on this 7 horse here. It's such a good note too. You did a really nice job of this.
Thank you. You bastard, you.
I know.
So
anyways,
when you texted me that you put that note in, my first reaction, I was doing my workout and I listened to my music and I popped up your message and I'm like, my first thing I was going to bust your balls and say, don't tread on my lawn. Don't invade my territory. What are you doing? But I saw the note. I agree with it. And I had a note on the 4 in this race was scratched. So it worked out perfectly.
I do think the 8's going to be tough to catch, but this 7 is a runner. So, and the 6 is the one that's the favorite right now, Nina K. And yeah, this one looks good as well, but it's off a layoff, all that. A lot of times these horses don't run like you think. 8, you're going to have to catch the 8. Could even be on the lead if the 2 doesn't break good. But if they duel up front, then you're going to have to beat the 7 horse, and you're getting 5-1. And this is a horse I've been following since the horse first ran. Look at my note. Was very wide, broke horribly slow. Is not the best breaker in the world. If this horse could even break a little bit, the 6.5 will be perfect, and you're getting 5-1. But depending on whether you have time or not, if you can put an exotics bet in there, just meaning key the horse in the 2nd and 3rd spots as well. But you could key this horse in all spots. I think it's a win contender too.
Yes, and it could be a mischief exacta. We can be getting into some mischief here, 7-8 exacta. But with that being said, I think because of the pace up front here, you may have to give the 1, Micropoli's horse, Carmen's Candy Jar, a shot here, closing from off the pace, especially if it can close up the rail. Now, Carmen's Candy Jar is named for, got to remember her name, Carmen, obviously, and it's Barrera, who used to worked at Naira, who I have actually met before. What a nice person. She's worked for Naira for years. So just on that alone, I hope she does, the horse does okay. But cutting back from an open company, grade 2, Demoiselle, where obviously it was overmatched. I got to look at what the SOR on that race has got to be a high SOR. Do you have that? I'm on a different race here. I'm on Santa Anita already. All right. That's the 6th race. Carmen's Candy Jar comes out of a what? SOR in that race was 70 and was racing against 74, 76, 74 is now in it against 64. So just off that alone, I think you got to give that horse a shot.
All right, let's see some speed dueling here. Well, she broke terrible. She's just such a bad breaker. You might not catch this 8 horse. This 8 horse has some quality.
Oh, yeah. Pretty fast, though, 23-2.
I wonder if this 7's going to ever break good.
Yeah, that's
close. I mean, she can really close, but you can't break bad like that and win.
No.
Look at her close.
Yeah, she's got too much ground to make up. Here comes the 4-5. It's not going to catch this 8 horse. And the 1 has to settle for 3rd or 4th. Yeah, wire to wire with the 8. Mischief Lady in front.
Oh, 7 barely missed 3rd, but you just can't break like that. And,
no.
And but you might want to follow that horse. That horse can really run. And but 8-6, the picks had it right. You got the top EquinEdge pick. Ran huge.
Yes. Good performance, wire to wire.
All right, my man. We have 3 more races to cover.
Okay, now we're going
about
to
20 minutes. Santa Anita race number 4.
You're going to your specialty track, so
yes, we're
going to work through this because Santa Anita. Some of these races I struggle with a bit. So let's go out to the first one. So it's the 4th, 5, and 6. So I put my plays in, but always subject to change. So. All right, so the 4th race at Santa Anita. Let me get that up. We have a 20,000 claimer, non-winners of 3 lifetime for fillies and mares 4 and up. Or mares 4 and up. Let me just pull up my notes.
Imran, sorry, we can't cover that race. We only have 20 minutes to cover 3 races at Santa Anita for the qualifier.
Yeah, we get a good qualifier.
The 6 horse, 38% sharp ride, top EquinEdge pick. Burn Money is the favorite last time out. Is always seems to get bet and still burns money. Is this a horse you would key?
Yeah, I'll tell you who I originally picked, and I was sort of handicapping this. Yeah, he would have been my second. He's my second pick currently in the qualifier. But I thought you could go to all of the 6 here had a shot. So I was struggled with this horse. I was back and forth with this race. I'm sorry. I was back and forth. I think the 6 off that has 2 for 4 over the track. Has been racing in his company and been racing okay. But I think these horses, I get the impression they take turns beating each other. Yeah. I look at Stellar Cap, who now the jockey of Stellar Cap goes on to 6, and then Pratt picks up the mount on the 5. So I was kind of wavering between the 5 and 6 here. And let me just look at one other thing. So this is 6 furlongs. That last race was 5.5.
I'm not sure if Justin did a video today. I don't think I saw the video.
Let me see. I don't think I.
Yeah, I don't think I saw it.
Yeah, I don't see it here. No, he did one yesterday. There's none today.
Okay.
All right. So I looked at Stellar Cap. I mean, the horses won at 6.5 furlongs and had won the last time out. I mean, it's very rarely these horses win 2 in a row, though, right? So I was kind of torn here. The 5, 6. I thought the 3 had a shot. I thought the 1 had a shot first time off the claim. I just want to look at Mark Glatt. What's his numbers first time off the claim? Because I was wavering all over the place.
29%.
29%. 15% trainer. 29% first time off the claim. Does draw the rail and has never won at Santa Anita. So off the claim. And Cheeky Gal did beat her the last time out. And let me just look at the pace numbers here. It looks like, the more that I look at it, Cheeky Gal does look like she could get an easy lead here. I don't know how has speed been at Santa Anita. I didn't watch yesterday, in all honesty. But Stellar Cap can press. Stellar Cap based on the last race. But I'm not sure I want any of these fillies to win or mares to win back-to-back.
Let me tell you about the 1 horse real quickly. The one shuffled at the start last time out against similar horses and ended up only losing by 4 lengths. Rushed up, and that was going 5.5 furlongs. Very difficult to have trouble early in a 5.5 furlong race and win. And now Mark Glatt claims this horse. I was saying all along, I really felt like Mark Glatt was going to have a big Santa Anita meet. We'll see. It's not really materialized yet, but in a race that looks wide open, there does seem to be a lot of speed in here. Here's the 1 horse that can sit off of them and save ground from the inside. So I'm on the 1 horse, and the 1 horse has won from the rail before while breaking slow. It's not the best breaker in the world, but the race simulator says the horse doesn't need to be too far back. It could be in last early, but I think the horse is going to make a run. Hopefully it'll break well at the gate.
So you're on the 1?
I am.
Okay, I'm going to change in midstream here. I originally was going to use the 5 Stellar Cap, but I just have an issue with backing some of these horses to win back-to-back. I'm going to go with Sharp Ride, 2 for 4 over the track, and draws the Pereira had his choice of either the 5 or the 6, most likely, right, and goes to the 6. And plus, his trainer Peterson is 3 for 3 over at the current meet. Give me the 6 Sharp Ride, Scotty.
Okay.
6 over.
You're not worried about that race last time out, burning money?
No, second time blinkers.
Losing ground almost every single race. Last time out, it is facing a bit easier here, to be fair. But I mean, it was 35% last time out. Had the 7-hole, perfect trip, and somehow went 5 wide in that race and lost by 4.5 lengths. I don't know.
I'm going to throw out that Santa Anita mile race, I think its horse prefers to sprint, and maybe didn't like LaSalle and wants to be and has 2 wins over the Santa Anita racing strip. So give me this. Give me the 6. She likes the track.
All right.
All right. 6 for me, and you're on
what do you think of the 1 horse? Tell me about the 1 horse real quickly, because I like the 6 as well. It only has 2 wins. At least the 6 isn't. It's only had 8 lifetime starts. I mean, draws the rail, which isn't a benefit necessarily, but I don't think it's going to hurt. There's not like a ton of horses in this race.
Well, look at it this way. Based on those stats off the claim for Mark Latt, you could justify as a play, right? That's a tremendous percentage. But this horse she's been mostly on the turf, but 0 for 11 on the turf. So if you take 11 races out, that's 9. So she's 2 for 9 on the dirt. You got a 3rd at Santa Anita. I mean, does she need more distance? She doesn't have a lot of speed.
No, that's what I'm worried about a little bit. And it's 6 furlongs, and it's better than 5.5, especially after Breaking Bad. Certainly looks like a fair play.
Yeah, 2 back.
Those 2 turf races, 3 and 4 back.
Yeah, at Del Mar.
This is a tough race on paper, right? Very tough.
Yeah, Del Mar 2 back. The horse, she took advantage of a contested pace. I don't think she's going to get that contested pace today. And the other horse I would take a look at was, well, I don't know, maybe that's a little cheap there. Yeah, to me, it's either the 5-1 or 6. So I'm going with the 6 Sharp Ride, bounce back here. Maybe the 6.5. This horse maybe prefers 6. So. And has won 2 races over Santa Anita. So yeah, I'm on a 6.
Well, they added blinkers on the 6 horse last time out to no avail. And they keep the blinkers on. I think they're wondering why this horse just isn't finishing. And it is going to be wide. What about the speed horse, the 3 horse Cheeky Gal? Should we be worried about this horse going gate to wire?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's a ton of speed here. I'd like to work on January 11th, and this horse can easily wire the field. Second off a layoff may improve. Yeah, definitely a contender.
Right?
Yeah, it's a tough one. And did beat the 1 horse last time out.
What about the EquinEdge long shot? You know what? We haven't talked a lot about the long shot, and it's probably not a wise move considering that these long shots are doing so well. The EquinEdge long shots over the last month. What do you think about this 4 horse? Can you handicap this one for us?
Solid tune. I mean, this horse has been racing for cheaper. I just think it doesn't really. I'm not sold per se, but would it be the worst? Would I be shocked if this horse won? No. But hasn't visited the winner's circle in an awful long time. Let's see. When's the last time this horse saw the winner's circle? It's been an awful long time. So I have to go back to October of 22. Last time she won. So that's not a horse I'm interested in.
No. And the 5 horse Stellar Cap, it doesn't have the profile that I like necessarily, but that being said, it's only had 6 races with 2 wins and 2 third-place finishes. And second off the layoff last time out, it actually ran a good race. It looks like it can rate. It can also rate. Why not this horse? Flavian Pratt decides to jump aboard, but Pereira jumps off is Pereira in this race?
Yeah, he's on the 6. That's why. Yep.
That's right. So he's on the 6 for Dean Peterson. They're 24%, but Pratt jumps aboard. But I don't think you would. You're not going to. I don't think you're taking Pereira off, who's been on the last 3 races. I don't think you're doing that. So
he probably had his choice.
I would imagine he had his choice, right?
Yeah, I would think so. But again, you're talking at Pereira's off, and who gets on? Pratt. So I mean, you're not losing anything, obviously.
I'm going to go with the 3. I might hurt myself because I do like the 1 horse, but I don't like that it's going to be in last early.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think the 3 is going to have an easy lead. 5 is tactical as well. Do you think Pratt will have this horse close to the pace? It looks like.
Yeah, you would think, right? This horse should be right up on the lead. Yep. And again, maybe it's just part of my stubbornness, but usually in this condition, $20,000 claimers, fillies and mares, they don't win back-to-back very often. And I could be, again, it may be a stupid reason not to include a horse, but I mean, it's just percentages. I don't see not too many of these fillies win 2 in a row.
Yeah. I'm going to go with the 3.
All right. So, Scotty, I'm locking you in. Is that your final answer?
It is.
Okay. You're locked in? Okay, better watch what I said. Let's just move on. I had a comment about cheeky. Okay, never mind.
All right.
With that. Okay, here we go.
5. Here we go. All right. Talk us through this.
Oh, I was hoping you'd talk us through this. I struggle with this one too. You're the pick 6 Santa Anita guy. Okay, let me just pull up the all right. Yeah, I think that based on what I see here, it's going to be awfully difficult to beat the top choice here. And you know me, I'm not a favorite player, but I may just take the low price and move on with 34 Coupe, 25% to win. Top pick. Third race off a layoff. The last race, with a repeat of that last race, should be really tough here. And I don't know, it looks a little faster than some of these to me. So I was just going to take the 6 with Pratt and just move on.
Okay, David's got the 6 horse. I know I'm going away from the 6 for sure. I'm looking at the 4 or 7. The 7 horse B Catcher is, in the last couple of races, has had a 42 and a 48 GSR, jumps up to 65 today, and is facing easier. So he only has 3 wins though in 36 tries, but I do think we're going to see a good effort from that horse. Supernatural is 4-1 on the EE morning line, and the horse is just a poor breaker, and it's stretching out here. It's never gone 8 furlongs before on the turf, so it's the first time, and it certainly deserves a look. And then you're looking at the EquinEdge long shot. That's also a horse to watch. Top pace, top GSR, EE long shot.
Mm-hmm.
That's super interesting. It's also a price play. It looks like it doesn't look great on paper, but maybe there's something here with this one. There's a lot of things that, in the metrics that are pointing this way, but this one as well, David, only has 3 wins in 37 races.
Right. So we have horses here who haven't won a lot. I mean, 3 for 30. I also looked at B Catcher, 0 for 15 on the Santa Anita turf course, 3 for 36 lifetime. I mean, even 34 Coupe is 2 for 19. So you don't have any major winners. Supernal has more of a winning profile, being 4 for 11. But is this horse a sprinter? He stretches out to a mile, but all his races basically were sprints.
Yeah.
And did we take a look at the 1? Anita New Mercedes. Delmar Pleasanton.
I mean, the last time it ran 8 furlongs on the turf over Santa Rosa, it won by a half of a length against a similar group. So, I mean, certainly has the credentials. The EquinEdge second pick. It could be a sneaky horse for sure. Likes to win. This one's going to have the lead, the 3, the sprinter on the stretch out. And it looks like this horse can rate. So this horse could be probably pretty comfortable on the lead. And I think this horse fairly easily is going to have the lead. I mean, there doesn't seem to be the 6 horse with Flavian Pratt probably going to set a perfect trip. No doubt about it. I mean, gets Flavian. Maybe we shouldn't even be thinking about this, right?
Yeah. But again, we're still horses won 2 races at Santa Anita over the turf course, 2 seconds. Stretch just missed in the last, tired late. Runs back to the last race, going to be awful tough to beat. But again, you're dealing with a horse who's 2 for 19 lifetime. But you got the 3 for 36. You got Supernal, who's won more races. The 2's run 4 races, but doesn't look like turf. Yeah, it just looks too logical to me. So I'm going to go with the 6, 34 coupe. Take the 6 to 7 to 5 and move on.
You know, the GSR going 2 turns on the turf is deadly. And there's so much pointing towards this 3. Horse to watch. EquinEdge long shot. EE long shot. EE long shot. Horse to watch. Price play. Top pace. Has a good win percentage in the field. Has a very good SOR. Top GSR. Like everything is pointing to. I got to go with the 3.
Okay, so Scotty's going with the Scotty long shot, the 3, so I'm told, and I am on the prohibitive favorite 634 coupe, and I think the 5. We didn't mention the 5 has won 2 races at the distance, 3 races over the Santa Anita turf course. That would be my other pick, and I almost went off of him, but I don't know why this horse was 30 to 1 the last time out. Didn't fire. But then the race before, this horse, it doesn't make any sense to me. Was that such a different such a higher SOR, tougher group with this?
Last time out was, but look, it was in between horses. It looks like it didn't have a very good trip, but it also does that. Look, steadied the far turn. It seems to get himself in trouble a lot of times. 2 races back, it didn't get in trouble. That was a tougher group and ran good. This is a fair long shot. Absolutely.
You know, the more that I look at this, but what I don't understand here is how's this horse 2 back, 4.5 to 1, and ran a good race, 4th, a half length. It was a tight finish. Same class at Del Mar. Was that race at Del Mar just that much stronger? The SOR doesn't indicate. It's only a 58 compared to a 60. How's that horse 30 to 1? Both 11 horse fields. Can you figure that out?
No.
That is the weirdest thing.
Yeah, look, it was 24 to 1 here. It lost by 18 lengths. Here it was bet. It just seems like whenever this horse is bet, it runs well.
Yeah, it's the weirdest thing because it's 28 to 1, then it's 6 to 1, then it's 24 to 1, but that's a higher class, so you can understand. But
well, it's 15 to 1. It's 15 to 1 on the EE morning line. I mean, first of all, look, this is a vertical line. Look at the finish.
Yeah. All right, I changed my mind. I'm going with the 5 Aurelian Man. Just looking for a little bit of a better price. I mean, because you're not. Yeah.
We got to hurry. We actually got to hurry. You're using the 6. I'm using the 3.
I changed to the 5.
Oh, you are changing the 5.
5 over the 6. Yeah.
Okay. 5. Okay, we got to go to race number 6. Thanks, Aaron.
All right, I'll just do this real quick because we want to go back. I thought this set, based on its last race. Now, these look like all Pleasanton horses, correct? This is
these lower.
So basically, they're carting Pleasanton horses at Santa Anita because that makes sense. But I thought
the Northern California horses.
Northern California, Golden Gate, Pleasant. Okay, yeah. So Attracted looks really attractive, no pun intended. But I'm going to give a shot with this horse, Happy. Basically, so he's could wire this field, so it's either the 6 or the 7. So I'm going to be Happy in the last race when I get my some good tour points with Happy. So I'm on Happy, and the 7 is the other obviously logical horse.
What about Tiger Queen, the 2 horse that could go gate to wire?
I don't know. I think he's going to have. I think Happy is going to have a say in that wire to wire job.
I mean, this horse is a hard knocker, but this is tougher competition for sure.
tougher competition, and I believe the 6 is going to stalk, make the first move, take the lead down the stretch, and have to hold off to 7. So it's 6-7 for me. All right, going back to the 6th, and I see the odds. Hollywood Mayhem is even money, so I'm going to stick with my 3, Happy Flyer. Hopefully, we get a pace.
David, you're going with the 6 horse Happy. Okay.
Happy, yes.
And I have no clue who I'm going with. Let's see here. How much time do we have?
Okay, it says 1 minute to Gulfstream, but let me pull up that feed because 1 minute at Gulfstream is more like 6. All right, less than a minute.
Good. Dan says the horse is training good on the 6 or the 7 horse, the favorite. Blue Wildcat.
The 5 is now 4-5. I do not want any part of a 4-5 in a contest. But there's only 10 races. So if anybody wants to take the 4-5, he's going to be a likely winner, but could face some speed, other speed here. That's perfect, Dave. Small fields, not much value. Then I can put in my $16 pick 6 ticket for $2 and give it a shot to try to win about 1,000. So here we go. That works for me.
I'm going to take a chance with Blue Wildcat. I'm going to go with a little bit of a price.
All right, Scotty on Blue Wildcat in the finale. It's our finale, the qualifier finale at Santa Anita. All right, they are making progress towards the Tapeta. Now, so the 5 horse, and who are you on here, Scotty? Did you go with the 5?
I went with the 5 horse Hollywood Mayhem. You're on the 3 horse Happy Flyer, who's getting a little bit of action. I'm looking to see if we can get an advantage here on something. Grandavilla.
Let's see. Anybody look like an overlay before they load in?
I mean, it's the 7 horse. I mean, the 7 horse has a long shot look. Look at, they thought it was a maiden special weight. Then they dropped it and it won fairly easily against 9 other horses. They're realistically spotting this horse. I think the 7 horse could surprise. I'm going to change to the 7, in fact. Okay. I'm going to try to beat the favorite. Even if the favorite wins, I'm okay with it. But I'm going to 9-2 on the EE morning line on the 7 horse. And I'm not looking at win percentages because if I get rid of the 5, and I think the 3 might be vulnerable as well. There's nothing wrong with the 7 and that EE morning line. So I'm going with the 7. I'm going to change it.
You surprised me there, my friend. I thought you'd be going with Kathleen O'Connell's horse, the 2, Arrow Star. Maybe the 5 will get off a little slow and the 2 wires the field. I'm going with the closer, the 3. Happy.
The 5 is going to be tough to beat, but
yeah.
Is Irad Ortiz aboard the 5?
I'm getting conflicting information here, so I can't. Let me just see what we got.
No, Dylan Davis is.
Right. So he is definitely, Irad's definitely in Tampa.
Yeah.
To the moon. Waiting for Grand Avila, and from the outside, Makoa.
Good luck, everybody.
Good luck in the first of the qualifiers. Hope to see you on top of that leaderboard and see everybody in Vegas. I'd just like to get some tour points today. All right, good luck.
Makoa to the outside. They're all in line. And they're off. In the middle, Hollywood Mayhem gets the first call, taken on by Aerostar, who drives through toward the inside. Aerostar to the top. Yeah. Hollywood Mayhem with Happy Flyer between horses. Out in the center goes Sweet Cha-Cha. Widest of all is Grand Avila ahead of Coaster to the Moon. The one that's way back early is Makoa. To the far turn they go. Aerostar leads by half a length. Hollywood Mayhem is their second, a gap of 2.5 to Carcone, who's third at the inside. Length and a
Here's
half.
the one is the horse.
Who's
We
now
talked about that
back
one.
to
Yeah, the
his
Finger
final
Leg
flag.
Shipper that I usually doesn't do. They don't do well. But
Hollywood Mayhem
this is
takes the
synthetic,
advantage.
right?
Hero Star tries
3 to 5 on the
counterattack.
5.
Off cover comes Carcone
Running very
from third.
good.
A gap of 3 to Coaster to the moon. Off the turn and the stretch drive. Hollywood Mayhem. He has a clean pair of heels and 1/8 of a mile to go. Carcone tries to get into second with Arrow Star, then Coaster to the moon. Coming home for the wire. It's 3 to 5. It's Hollywood Mayhem. Who's in front?
All right.
Hollywood Mayhem by
No
3.5.
damage.
Okay, you got your 3 to
We
5.
did consider the one. That was definitely a consideration. We talked about that horse pretty strongly.
Yeah.
The race simulator had that horse, liked that horse a lot. That was a big drop in class, but the 5 was just too good.
Yeah, much.
Yeah, 5 was too good. All right, David. Well, we got through it. We did good. Oh, no, hold on. Why don't we stay for
You want to do Aqueduct?
Yeah, let's watch race number 7 at Aqueduct, or we'll listen to it.
Okay, I went to Power Driver.
I'm on the 1A. You're on the...
I'm on the 9. But
I
went off the 5, but I have to tell you, I'm placing a win wager on the 5 at that price because 6 to 1 is somewhat desirable in my eyes. So I'm going to make a win wager on the 5, but use the 9 in the contest.
Okay.
I think there could be a speed duel, but so I got a speed and I got a closer. And we have a jockey change too in that race. So the 5, Rivera's off, and we've got Guybar Koa on the 5, and we've got Katie Davis on the 4.
Wide open race.
It is absolutely a wide open race. I just think you're going to have some pace. That's why I called an audible and went to the 9. So I have both of them, 5 and 9. But the 6 is obviously a contender, and the 7 has got a shot.
Yeah,
Tough race. So I held off to have that chicken parm. My wife told me, don't eat that chicken parm when you're doing the show with Scotty.
why?
So well, she said the cheese tends to run and get stuck in my beard or something. She says I'm a sloppy eater, and that's going to be disgusting. All right, good luck, everybody. They're off. The 2 gets off slow.
The 1, oh, 1, terrible.
And the 1.
Well, one is out of the race.
Wow, the 3 got the lead. The 5 did not get the lead. And where is the 9? Not good. They're going fast for this level.
Wow, look how good. Look at. You might want to watch that 1A next. It's not going to win, but look at the way it's closing.
Yeah, yep.
It was an absolute horrific break, and now the jockey is sitting behind horses. I mean, you want to talk about the best in the race. Look at this 1A. Look at that. I'm going to be following that horse back. You're not going to see that in the program. Would you look at this 1?
Yeah, the 1's making up a ton. Yep. I know you're not catching this 3, so we thought it was the 5 didn't get the lead.
Look at this. Look at this horse. Look at this. Holy shit.
And you get second.
Get second.
There's your closer, but the speed of the speed. The 3 got the lead over the 5.
You got to relook at that trip, though, David. That's not that 1A would have won for fun.
I agree.
That was such a bad ride by the jockey, too. It was just horrible.
Well, it got off slow to the gate, right?
Yeah, but then it checked up, and it was just a bad ride. It was much best. Watch. All right, I'm definitely watching that horse back. That's for sure.
It was the aggressive jockey who got the lead, and just sometimes the speed of the speed is the one that wins.
You know what I find too, David? Like, it's hard. We talked about this 3-horse breaking its maiden so easily.
Yeah.
Right. And then also it was 3-1 on the E morning line. It's so, listen, second guessing never lost, so.
Oh, yeah. And
You know what I mean? But still, it is right there in front of us. Like it broke its maiden. Like, I don't like horses that break their maiden to come back and beat winners first time out. You know that. But with
right.
we saw twice today, though, with horses that broke their maidens easily, they do come back and run pretty good. And when this is the second one that's done that, and this horse ended up getting off at 7-1, I think, or 9-1. So wow,
7-1. But I wouldn't have still used this horse, Scotty, because in the last race, she only beat 3 other horses. And that was a day, I believe, I'd have to look at my notes, but January 4th, I believe, was an intense speed bias day. So the horse broke its maiden, beating 3 horses and won on a speed bias track by 6 lengths, wire to wire, with no pressure on it at all. And it's pretty slow pace. So yeah. I still wouldn't have had this horse. So no regrets, no regrets.
No, let's see here.
And I got to look at the replays. So replays are a really important part of my handicapping. So I'm going to watch some replays tonight, and I'm going to watch this replay a couple times. But some of those horses, the 5 must have gotten off slow. The 6 didn't brace. I got to check out their starts, because sometimes then you can look and like, well, now this horse was no factor, and now he gets off to a better start next time out, and you get 6-7-1.
Yeah.
Lane Leslie made the right move being aggressive on that horse.
Yeah, for sure. All right, David, I think we did it.
All right, Scotty, we did it.
Yeah. Good stuff. Wish you all the best in this tournament, and everybody else. Rodney, wish you all the best. Everybody.
Good luck this weekend.
Thank you, and thanks for joining in the chat. Great chat today too. So, man.
And don't forget to tune in to Down the Stretch tomorrow. I believe the gentleman going at 2:40. I'll be going on about 5, from 5 to 7. So join in early, and I'll be joining in later to go through some of the stakes races. And thanks again, everybody, for all your participation, and have a blast doing the show. And it wouldn't be the same without you guys. So thanks again, Scotty, and everybody have a great weekend. Stay warm for those in the north, and can't wait to board my flight next Wednesday. And I might try to get out on Monday or Tuesday if it's going to be that cold. So I can't take the cold anymore. So thanks again. Have a great weekend, everybody, and good luck. May the horses be with you.